Week number 8, buy lows. Coming out of week number 7, who are we buying low? Names on screen here should give you a nice taste of what is to come on this episode of the Fantasy Football Show. And we are 100% going to attack the best ways to fix some of your teams. We're going to take phone calls. We're going to answer super chats. We're going to do some fantasy football. Which side are we taking kind of game type of setup here on the show today. So file on in, hit that like button on the way in the door. We are attacking week number 8. Buy low players and sell high. Walking into week number 8. Let's go. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Although I'm a little late today, I apologize for being late today. You know how we roll. We do so many live streams. I've got so many things going on. Being on time is not necessarily one of the most critical things here on this channel because we're live all the time. Like we go live randomly when things pop off, and so everyone knows where to find us. And again, apologize for being late. Let's cook up some of these. Young says he's cooked at 0-7. Let's cook up something to help save your season, then, pal. On screen are the best buy lows walking into week number 8. So file on in, hit that like button. We're definitely going after a handful of these guys. Now, before we get a bunch of upset ungers and unaware, ungers, unaware ungers, upset ungers. Smitty, I don't understand. We're selling JJ or we're buying JJ. Two things can coexist at the same time. Vantage point is everything. And the fact that the Vikings are winning games, and that doesn't mean that the selling high that you did last week, or maybe even a sell high right now for JJ because your team can't win waiting on JJ. None of those mean that one can't be true without the other being true. Like, they both can be true at the same time. JJ is a fantastic sell high and buy low. It just completely depends on the angle you're coming from and what the owner of JJ, the existing owner, whether that's you, and you could say the buying owner of JJ, or the selling owner, you, of JJ. It depends on what your situation looks like. If you've got 1 or 2 wins, and you're sitting here struggling, and you can't figure out how to overcome some of the setbacks you've had, the injuries, the busting, the combination of everything, and you have JJ on your roster, and you've got 1 or 2 wins, you are a strong candidate to trade Justin Jefferson. And the good news is, being on our buy list means there's a market for people to come and overpay as well. So we can hit the JJ thing from 10 different angles. I would say the positive here for JJ is that his team is winning. His team has won back-to-back games in games where they're probably supposed to lose. They've been playing out of their mind. And in the fact that JJ's motivated on the sideline, you show him he's there supporting his team. You can tell he's itching to get back. He's got no attitude of like probably Adams has right now, Devontae Adams. I don't know if I want to come back and fight for this team. JJ wants to fight badly. He wants to fight for his quarterback. He was active in all the post-game interviews, jumping up behind people's backs. JJ was excited. You can tell he's ready to return. Not ready right now, but like in his mind, mentally, he wants to get back into the season. So the fact that things are trending in a very, very positive direction for the Vikings and for Kirk Cousins and for Addison and for everybody involved, I think JJ's a fantastic buy for a team that's got 4 wins or more. Even if you had 3 wins, it's tempting. It's tempting depending on the price tag, depending on how desperate the owner of JJ is. Do they have 1 win? Do they have 0 wins? There's people in here that said they have 0 wins in a team. 0 wins, 1 win, 2 wins. Those individuals cannot wait on JJ, just like you can't if you own JJ and have 0, 1, or 2 wins. Trade ideas for JJ include players popping off and having a day. Addison. We like holding Addison, but selling high on Addison is not a bad idea. I know it's kind of awkward to sell Addison away to then acquire the guy that's on that roster, not on the field. But look, it is what it is. If you have Addison, you either need to use him or you're debating who to play each week, and you got very, very nice options. And so you very, very much might want to explore trading away a guy popping off to go get a guy that's going to jump back into the top 1, 2, or 3 overall wide receivers upon his return. So JJ's fantastic to get and sell. Aaron Jones struggled. Clearly wasn't fully unlocked and back to form, but I do believe that if you're in a desperation type mode, you need to go after players like this. You have to. If you're 1 win, 2 wins, 0 wins, you have to make moves. Aaron Jones is a phenomenal opportunity with a whole bunch of risk. Will he stay healthy? He's older. They don't seem to use him, but it's because he's coming back from injury. Or is it? We don't know, but he definitely makes for a good 2 players, one of 2 players you'd be acquiring if you're sending away 1 player to get 2 players. Is it true Henderson's going back to the practice squad? Yes, but that's a formality in terms of contracts, and he's on the field. It's not like he goes off to the side field and he's playing with the reserves or something. Like, everyone's taken this thing so far. He's, in a contract standpoint, on the practice squad, but he's on the field. He's doing everything he normally does. They will elevate him again, and that way they can get away with paying him while they're trying to figure out their cap numbers and salary. So relax on that. Olave arrested. Relax on that too. And I think the fact that he's kind of struggling also makes him a very good buy low, because he's been struggling and now he gets arrested. And when I say struggling, he's like 20 points away from being a top 9, 10, 11 wide receiver, depending on your scoring. That's one game. That's one pop-off game, and he's back in the top 9, 8, 10, 11. People need to understand that. And he's a great opportunity, even with some risk, because if you have 2 wins, 1 win, 3 wins, and you need to make a move, you need to make a move. That's plain and simple matter of fact, down to the truth of it. And if you've got a player that's doing very well that you could sell high and go get an Olave and Aaron Jones for, you might contemplate that package. Now, Cooper Kupp's not going to be dirt cheap, because people remember what he did a couple weeks ago, multiple weeks in a row upon his return. But there is enough chatter out there that I've witnessed where people are like, holy crap, is Puka taking over? And they're definitely going to coexist. But the fact that people are really, like, after one bad game, really saying Cooper Kupp has been overtaken, he's not, it just gives me the sense that there's some freak out Freddies out there that probably will knee jerk into a trade that they shouldn't be making based on someone you have that's popping off, like Addison and another piece for Cooper Kupp. So Cooper Kupp is a fantastic, not buy low, but buy medium. Again, you're not stealing him away, but people are running their mouth about how Cooper Kupp's going to fall to the wayside after 1 week when we've seen him pop off. And don't tell me people aren't in your league doing these trades. Smitty, this is for everybody that's going to come in and say no one's buying, no one's selling Ekeler, no one's selling Hall, no one's selling Achane, no one's selling Cooper Kupp. And my league's so special. Everything about me is special. The world revolves around me, Smitty. And because nobody trades in my league, I'm going to speak for everybody. Because I can tell you right now, I talk to people every hour of every day in comments, DMs, text line that are pulling off moves like this every single hour. So the world revolves around me, Smitty, though I know it does. I've seen it. The world's flat. Okay, so I definitely feel like Kupp is one of the better buys right now if the price is right, and especially if you make your trades complicated. Buy Pollard. For some reason, people are so worried about the offense, and I get it, but I'm going to go ahead and take him in certain situations as a super high-end running back 1. And I think because he can be sold, or he's being sold for a low-end running back 1 at times, not every league, there's opportunity to swap out one player for Pollard and another player. It just depends on who you're trading. And I think that, like, in some examples, you might be trading a player you really like. You know, maybe in a case of trading, let's say you're trading a JJ and you're able to get a Pollard because somebody's wanting to take that gamble. Like, you could do that if you need points now. Pollard's playing these next handful of games. JJ's not. Aaron Jones, trading Pollard away for Aaron Jones and or let's say an Achane and another player is a fan, like Devontae Smith and Achane for Pollard. You can do that move too. Buying low and selling high, just because a guy's on here as a buy doesn't mean you can't find him cheaply. Doesn't mean you won't sell him for another couple of these players on this list. It is all a revolving door and a big cycle, okay? There's nothing that's concrete here. Smitty, are we selling Jefferson or buying Jefferson? I just explained that. Jonathan Taylor. Looked like he's coming on strong. Moss season's probably over, and Taylor looks like he's probably scratching the surface of being back into the mid, not super high yet, but mid, capable of high-end running back one numbers, but mid running back one numbers going forward. And if you can get him at a slight discount before things, you know, return to normal, if they do, that's a great move. Bijan Robinson, everyone and their mother freaking out about this situation right now, and for good reason to be concerned, I admit, but there's opportunity here for people that need opportunity. If you're sitting here and you're going, Smitty, I can't win with the team I have. I've got 1 win. I've got 2 wins. I've got 0 wins. Maybe you got 3 wins. You could still take a gamble on Bijan. Depends on the situation. But if you're in desperation mode, you've got to make moves that might have some risk attached to it. You might have to go after Bijan Robinson and take the risk that this situation doesn't quite unfold the way we want. You might have to take a risk on Ekeler coming back and having a mediocre game and putting all your eggs in the Ekeler basket, which I'm fully confident in doing in at least a couple leagues. Not all my leagues. Diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. But Austin Ekeler had his first game back, struggle bus game, and I firmly believe with the bye week out of the way, with the Chargers needing to get something done differently to return to normalcy for them, it's going to require getting Ekeler involved, heavily involved, to make Herbert look better, play better, and have this team win. As for DeAndre Swift, I think people are worried about his situation swiftly vanishing and diminishing, and there's some concern about maybe he starts slowing down because he's not necessarily made to be given all the work that he's been given. We kind of didn't expect him to get the rushing attempts he's been getting. We kind of expected him to do what he's doing, but halfway through the air and halfway through the run, he's been running a ton. I still buy him, though. I still buy him at the right price because people are kind of jumping off the ship pretty quickly. I also would sell him in the right context, too, because all of this, like I said, it comes down to vantage point. Same thing with Garrett Wilson. Good buy low, decent sell high. And Devontae Smith, I would say not a good sell high whatsoever. He's a hold or a buy, and a fantastic buy, because I still think he has low-end minimum wide receiver 1 potential. And same thing with Ridley. He is in no way, shape, or form a sell. I can't think of a scenario where selling Ridley would be smart on any level, because no one's going to pay for him. You hold him, even if you wanted to bench him, which I'm not doing. You hold him or you buy him. You buy him dirt cheap and you say whatever, or you hold him. There's not much of a variance here, okay? This is a player that can be thrown into a deal pretty easily. You could easily grab Breece Hall and Ridley by maybe trading a Pollard. If you believe in Hall over Pollard anyway, which you have every right to do, you have every right to believe in Pollard over Hall, Taylor over Hall, Hall over Taylor, Hall over Pollard, Hall over Bijan, Bijan over Hall. You have every right to think about any of these players from those vantage points. And if you can go get an additional Ridley to swap a running back you absolutely feels even Steven anyway, this is the kind of move that wins championships. Getting Ridley for free, getting Devontae Smith for free, getting Stevenson for free. I don't love the idea of trading for Stevenson on the high, but I kind of feel like there's a small chance that Bill Belichick decides to go to this man more in better ways, and they start moving the football a little bit better, and he does really well in the passing game, and they still throw to him. Even when he's game scripted out of the run, he's still getting a lot of catches, pulling 5, 6, 7 catches a game for 50, 60, 70 yards. There's still a lot of PPR production. So you throw in a Stevenson into a trade, get Devontae Smith thrown in, maybe you throw a wide receiver back to get that swap going. Same thing with Ridley. Achane, even though he's coming back, every day we get closer to his return. We're now looking at a couple weeks, and then he's back into the fold. He's got a bye week. He's got 2 weeks and then a bye week. So that's going to be fantastic for Achane to get back onto fantasy football rosters doing Achane things. But guess what? For anybody saying nobody's selling Achane, he's getting closer to coming back, Smitty. Nobody's going to actually sell this man. I've tried. We don't live just in your world, Bob. We don't live just in your world. And Devon Achane is being acquired on the regular by a lot of teams all over the place. In my comments, in my DMs, in my one-on-one text line, I see it every single freaking day. And the thing that you're not thinking about, Bob, is that the Achane owner might have thought that he had a plan. Then he got punched in the face and his plan changed. He can't wait. And while you sit there and type up your TPS reports, working at 80%, 90% capacity, instead of doing your damn fantasy job half the time while you're employed, and doing a 50-50 balance to improve your chances of winning your league, you're sitting there working hard at your cubicle, typing away TPS report after TPS report. Congratulations, you're the TPS reporter of the week. But while you're doing that, the email notification is going to come in. Maggie from Repo is going to rip off Bill from accounting. And while you are typing your TPS report, Achane's going to be had. Because Maggie in Repo realized Bill in accounting was falling into the wayside. He was falling into the abyss. He had to make a move. He had to get rid of Achane. He couldn't wait 2 more weeks. He freaked out, and you assumed because no one makes trades like that in my league, I'm too good. I wouldn't play in a league that allowed bad trades. There you go. Anyway, let's get back to finally, Kyler Murray. I'm sure there's a lot of people in here, or a couple, saying nobody's selling these players. I love when these players. Everybody just referred to him about 3 minutes ago in the video. Just point him there. Kyler Murray. Look, he could be had in some waiver wire situations. So check your waiver wire. You might see Kyler Murray sitting there in a grandma league, not in a pro league, not in a shark league, not in the guy screaming and yelling about how great his league is. Maybe Kyler Murray's not available there, but you absolutely can still find him because he's like 40% at least availability, 30 to 40 on average in leagues available. So again, grandma leagues included, but it is what it is. So check your waiver wire. If you don't have him available on waivers, let me tell you something. There's a real good chance that the owner of Kyler Murray right now in your league doesn't really necessarily need him. There's let's call it a 40% chance he picked him up because he's desperate, and now he's like, thank God I got Kyler Murray coming back. That's a lot of people. T-Law, Jordan Love, owners of those types of quarterbacks. Fields, and then they got Kyler. Okay, so that's about 40%. I probably nailed it for 4, 5, 6 of you watching right now that are going to type, that's me. I got Fields in T-Law, and I've got Kyler. That's you. 40% of the population, maybe more so of our community, but 40% of the population has Kyler ready to rock and roll as their starter. And the other percentage, or a certain percentage, a big percentage of the remaining percentage, is literally sitting on 2 quarterbacks now. They've got Hurts, they've got Mahomes, they've got Tua. Now Tua or Kyler is expendable potentially if they need other pieces. Now their vulnerability to trade one of Kyler or Tua, or one of Kyler and Hurts, one of Kyler and let's say Joe Burrow, is fully dependent on. And maybe you have Stroud and you're like, I have Kyler and Stroud. I don't know if I want to trade Kyler because I'm not sure about Stroud. Those owners might not sell Kyler. But if you've got a person saying, you know, I've got Hurts and Kyler because I was smart and I picked up Kyler, and now I'm kind of weighing out whether I can make it. Kyler on my bench or filling a wide receiver void or a running back void is going to help me much more. I'm going to take the gamble that I don't need Kyler, trade him away. So if you're in desperation mode at QB, this is probably your most attainable, I would say, asset out there at the quarterback position that's going to be the cheapest, because we don't know what he's going to look like coming back. You can sell him kind of low, but you don't necessarily need to. And you don't really want to get rid of him dirt cheap, but you know you can't really get the world because we don't know what he'll respond, when he's exactly coming back, probably in the next 2 weeks. And Tua's another one. If you own Tua, you're fine. Sit back on Tua. He'll be okay. The Dolphins will rebound. But these are probably, and Burrow, you could even throw Burrow as a good buy low. Let's put Burrow on screen right now. Burrow deserves to be on this list, absolutely. Let's put Burrow here. Burrow is probably the last name that I'll add here. I might add a couple more names as we go, but Burrow's fantastic to buy low right now because people fluctuate on his potential value. They go back and forth. So Joe Burrow is definitely one of the better buy low quarterbacks out there in fantasy football right now walking into week 8. So you're going to go after Tua, you're going to go after Burrow, you're going to go after Kyler. Those are the 3 QBs to buy in fantasy football right now, right here, right now, walking into week number 8 if you are perplexed with your quarterback situation. That's it. Wide receivers, the best wide receivers to buy low. Again, big time, you're going to pay a little bit, paying top dollar, but you're getting them at a slight discount. Cooper Kupp. Okay, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Ridley, pretty cheap. He's probably more expensive than these two guys. But Devontae Smith and Ridley are dirt cheap. Olave's getting to be dirt cheap. Running backs, Pollard's cheaper than he should be. Taylor's a little cheaper than he should be. Ekeler's cheaper than he should be. Swift is becoming relatively cheap. Bijan's way cheaper than he should be. Breece Hall's medium. Like, you're buying him high, but you're doing this in a creative way. You're buying Breece Hall low. You're doing it in a big, complicated deal where you can get away with fudging his numbers a little bit and saying, well, it's still the Jets. This is a big, complicated deal. You're getting JJ. Okay, I'll sell Breece Hall a little cheaper than I should. That's how you're getting Breece Hall. You're not getting Breece Hall in some one-for-one running back for running back move. I'll trade Aaron Jones for Breece Hall. No one's doing that. But you could trade, an Aaron Jones and a receiver potentially for Breece Hall. You could get complicated. The more complicated you make something, the more likely you can get something done that shouldn't get done. If I had to pinpoint my favorite buys on this list that can win leagues, I'm telling you right now, I feel like Achane's one of them. I feel like Hall. I feel like Devontae Smith. I feel like Ekeler, Bijan. I feel like potentially Taylor and even Tua. These are the guys that can, and JJ at the right price, they can win you leagues in the right context, buying them. They can also win you leagues selling them and getting a couple more of the players I'm suggesting to buy. It all comes down to vantage point. Appreciate you all being here. This is the week 8 buy low show. Let's get to the super chats, then we'll open the phone lines. The first super chat of the day is from KH3. You get a standing O for being the first super chatter of the day, young man. That's my boy. KH says, love Kamara, JT, Achane, Evans, Thielen, Javonte. Okay, so here's the trade. Whoa. Trade JT Brown, AJ Brown for Evans, Thielen, Javonte. Why in the hell would we trade JT and AJ Brown for Evans, Thielen, and Javonte? I'm not saying this can't work out on some level if all things play out amazingly. Thielen continues to find the fountain of youth every single week. He's going to drop off at some point. He will. He's getting older. I don't think he continues all year long. I admit I've been wrong on how long he would do what he's doing. But I'm not taking this gamble. Absolutely disapprove. Appreciate you. I don't disapprove of you. I love your super chat. Stand down. Have Burrow, Bijan, Kamara, Wilson, Evans, Schultz, Stevenson, and Watson 2 and 5. Do I have any hope? You do. You do. You need Burrow to come back on a vengeance. You need Evans to stay healthy. You need Stevenson to bounce back. Watson, we'll see what's happening with Watson's injury situation. We got a lot going on there, so hang tight on that. And frankly, you have a lot of good players. You probably shouldn't be 2-5, but you've had a lot of tough breaks. I think the Bijan, Burrow, Stevenson, Garrett Wilson, you're going to get a couple of those guys to pop off in a way that I think you can stand down. I don't know that selling high on anybody makes a lot of sense for you. I think you got enough talent that you can let it ride. At least in this league, let it be your comeback team. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but it's going to put up a good fight. And I think I'd, for the most part, leave it alone. Heating up, appreciate you. I trade Bijan plus Watson for Amon-Ra and James Cook. I would probably say this is a pretty even trade. I think, if Christian Watson were to stay healthy, get healthy, not be out for the year, we're still waiting on a lot of updates on Christian Watson, to be honest with you. And let me click here and see if anything is updating on Christian Watson right now. It's been such a disappointing year for him. He can't stay healthy. He injured his knee on that final drive of Sunday's loss to the Denver Broncos. The injury report. Their injury wasn't reported by the Green Bay Packers because it happened on the team's, last snap. And I don't know what the whole deal is with that, the reporting of it. The reporting of it's been very, very shoddy. I don't really know how bad it is. Maybe it's not bad at all. But I tend to lean toward, in this trade, the Amon-Ra St. Brown side, because you got two players going against one until Watson is deemed to be back and healthy, and we just don't know. So if Watson was to rebound on a tear, which is still possible, but we're certainly disappointed, right? If he bounces back on a tear, that Bijan side is going to win. But right now, if you're needing wins, the Amon-Ra, St. Brown, James Cook side is probably just better. But who the hell knows? What if the Buffalo Bills trade for Derrick Henry and James Cook value goes out the window? Tough to know, bro. It could go 100 different ways there. This one right here from Thank You Heating. I wish I had a better take on that. It's even Steven. If the chat wants to weigh on the Amon-Ra versus Bijan side, definitely weigh in and help out Heating. Half PPR traded away Garrett Wilson for Devontae Smith. That could go either way because I love both of them. They're both undervalued. They're both struggling to some degree this year. Garrett Wilson's on his way up. Devontae Smith is staying stagnant, but I do think he does bounce back on a tear. This could be one of those games where either one of them could have a big, huge game, and you're like, I should have did it. I shouldn't have done it. I should have did it. It's very, very even. I probably lean toward Devontae Smith because I think the offense is better, but I do have hope that Garrett Wilson continues to do a lot with a little, and his situation gets better. Another interesting note, you guys, I wish I was a GM. I wish I was a coach. I know that there's a chance I'd drive a team into the ground or into a championship in one calendar year. I realize that about myself. I swing hard, I go big, or I go home. That's kind of my nature. And Malik Cunningham was just released by the Patriots. And if I was the New York Jets, I would sign Malik Cunningham yesterday. I would get him on my roster immediately. Malik Cunningham could potentially be a saving grace for this team. I have no idea why the Jets aren't on the phone right now. Maybe they are, to get this kid. Like, if the Patriots don't see the value in Malik Cunningham, I do, and I would love to see him in New York because I think it's a fantastic potential move for a team that does not have a quarterback. Now, granted, Wilson's been playing a lot better than any of us thought he would, but this is a move that would be amazing in terms of at least depth for right now to get him on roster in case things go awry. Because the moment Wilson starts throwing interception after interception and it literally could take a turn in one game, Malik Cunningham would be amazing to add to the roster. He would be amazing. Inject him in, get some excitement in there. Maybe you start winning games. If you start losing them based on Zach Wilson. I don't know why. I don't understand. Okay, so trade away Lamb and Dameon Pierce for Ekeler and Metcalf. I would take Ekeler and Metcalf in a heartbeat. That one's easy, Brandon. Eckler's solid, bro. Brofist Brad with a $20 hauler. Brofist, let's go.
Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you, Brofist. Brad coming to the rescue. $20 hauler. Boy's getting his tries in today. 2 and 5, 10-man, 0.5 PPR. Fields, Love, Kyler, Bijan. Okay, good team. AJ Brown, Olave. Just got offered Waddle, Evans, and Breece Hall for my AJB Ramondre. Yeah, I would smash the hell out of that trade. I like Ramondre a little bit in terms of like a freebie, but when we're talking about this trade right here, smash. AJB, you replace AJB with Breece Hall. You get an Evans and a Waddle. Fantastic trade. Brofist smashed the hell out of that trade. Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Zastro. Trade away Rashad White for Kincaid. We know Kincaid season's here. We've been waiting for it. Kincaid season is here. If people don't know, if you've been living under a rock, Dawson Knox having wrist surgery, Kincaid season is in full effect. Kincaid season, baby. Let's go. I also have an Ingram. Well, now you can trade Ingram. Tight ends are pretty easy to trade in this environment right now because everybody's struggling. Ekeler and Ridley for Tyreek. I'd probably roll with Tyreek, bro. There's just no reason to make that trade. I love the idea of Ekeler, Ridley, but because there is some uncertainty, I think you need to get more in that trade. But I like the idea where you're headed, but if you could definitely capitalize a little more. Is Trey McBride worth the roster spot since Ertz is on IR? Yeah, I think so. It depends on your situation, but definitely a potential add. Trade London for Devonta Smith. I think we got a couple $20 haulers that get immediate attention here. Hang tight while I find those. We got RS coming in with a 20 watt on screen. $20 haulers get immediate assistance. RS, appreciate you. And it looks like we got Neighbors with a $20 hauler. Neighbors to the moon. Neighbors, appreciate you. We've got Josh with a $20 hauler. Josh, you are the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you. Rick Moore with a 20 watt on screen. Rick, appreciate you. I don't know the conversion on this one, but we're going to, I think that's a $20 hauler still. $20 hauler. Let me throw all these on screen and let me help these gentlemen out right this very second, and then we get back to the rest of the super chats. Appreciate you all. If anybody wants immediate assistance, the $20 hauler usually gets it done. This one's going to go to Neighbors for the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20 super chat.
Alert. Super chat alert.
For those wondering, if you haven't been here for a while, what the hell are you doing? You guys, every time I get a $20 hauler, I work out. And I'm getting ripped by Halloween. Your boy's getting pretty cut up, but I still need to drop some LBs along with it. So I've been running. I started doing more cardio as of yesterday. Hey, Smitty, Hall, Kamara, Bijan, Javonte, Tajay. Got Amon-Ra, Addison, Watson, non-PPR, need a QB. My only hope is Fields coming back. Got trade suggestions. Yeah, Kyler Murray. Here's the on screen the players to trade for: Kyler, Tua, and Burrow. So as much as I love Addison, you could try and exploit Addison right now to get an upgraded quarterback situation. I would go to all the teams that have two quarterbacks. I would go see who's got Kyler Murray. I'd be tempted to try and make a trade without giving up Addison, but maybe you can give up like Tank and Javonte. Maybe you can give up potentially somebody else you didn't list. But honestly, if I'm getting Tua Tagovailoa for Addison, I might contemplate that in your situation because your team is super good And you need a quarterback, bro. And I don't know what's in store for Fields coming back. So you're kind of playing with fire. This one was from Rick. Rick, I appreciate you. So Neighbors, I didn't read yours. Now I got to go to Neighbors. Neighbors.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
I did Neighbors second, I'm sorry. Hit the set for the boys catching the viz after hours. Still love the stream, pal. Smitty to the moon. Appreciate you, Neighbors, dropping the 20 watt on screen. This one is from Augie that I didn't answer earlier. Trade London for Devontae Smith. Yes, I take Devontae Smith. That's a pretty easy call, in my opinion. I like that, Augie. Nice job. And I think we got all the $20 haulers on screen, I believe. I think I've dragged them all on. If I missed anybody, let me know, but I think it's good. RS with a $20 hauler. RS says, Fields as my backup. Would you cut Stafford? I would cut Stafford to do this. Do I pick up Fields as my backup? I probably would. I think Stafford's a decent backup, but I do believe Fields is a good potential, thing for you to bank on, given you don't need him right now. However, check your bye week for your starting quarterback and figure it out. Make sure it's not going to creep up on you quickly and Fields isn't back. Tank Dell and KJ Osborne are out there. Would have to cut Hollywood. No, I'm not cutting Hollywood. Curtis Samuel and Tank Dell are pretty close, though. I'd probably say I'd rather have Tank Dell than Curtis Samuel, but that's a close one. I don't know that I'm all that concerned about KJ Osborne right now. He's decent, but thank you for your 20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert.
God, tries are burning. More, appreciate you. Traded Devontae Smith and Swift for Ekeler. Devontae Smith and Swift for Ekeler, sitting at 5-2. He wanted Kelsey, but I didn't want to get rid of him. I think that was a fantastic move. Great job. Smash. Doing it live. Nice work. Thank you very much, more for that. And Jose with the 20. Or no, Josh with the 20. I'm 1-5, but wanted your opinion. Help with my team. Roster is Love, Fields, Mostert, JT, Brees, Gibbs, Kirk, Devontae Smith, Dell, Watson, Garrett, George Pickens. Love the show, brother. Helps me get through the day. Thank you. The show loves you back. I think you definitely need you could ride with Love for right now, but I would love to see you get into like a Tua, Burrow, or potentially maybe even a Josh Allen. Maybe you do something crazy. Maybe you could trade George Pickens and Gibbs for like a Josh Allen and give up a Love or a Fields. Just an idea. I think Josh Allen's worth that kind of move. Garrett Wilson and Gibbs. Gibbs. Honestly, I'd be tempted to trade Gibbs for any top 5 quarterback. And if you have to give up your quarterback in conjunction with that, it's a decent offer to send out. I think Kyler's also a good player for you to maybe go get using a Kirk or using a Christian Watson or using a Pickens. So, Josh, try and solve this problem without touching your lineup too much. I think those are all potential moves for you. Kyler's probably the cheapest because the odds are, like I said, at least 50% chance that the guy that has Kyler doesn't necessarily need him. Also, trade Olave plus JSN for Achane and Lockett. Achane and Lockett. That one's easy. Probably the easiest question I've been asked all day. This one right here is from Slayer. Whiteboard treatment, please. I can't win with my team 4-3. Hurts, K9, Swift, Chase, Pickens, Laporta, Ridley, Achane, Sharps, Watson. I'd probably say, I don't know, Slayer. We'll put the team up here. We don't need to rewrite the team, but I'll say that Hurts, K9, Swift, Chase. Actually, let's write it out, I guess. Hurts, K9, Swift. Why can't you... I can't win with this team. 4-3. Why can't you win with this team? This team's fine. Chase, Pickens, Laporta, Ridley, Hendo, Achane. You got Achane. Why can't you win with this team? I feel like I'm wasting my marker because this is a squad right here. The only vulnerability at all could be a drop off, let's say, by Swift, and so you trade Swift and Pickens, and you assume you're going to be using Achane very soon. Maybe you bank on Ridley because no one's going to give you what you deserve for Ridley. So you bank on Ridley. You get rid of these two pieces right here, and you go after one player. And we can look at this buy low list and just say, I mean, what can Pickens and Swift get you? Can that get you a Breece Hall? Can that get you a Ekeler? Probably not. Can that get you a Pollard? I don't know. Could it get you a Taylor? Maybe. Could it get you a JJ from the owner that's holding JJ and is freaking out about holding him? Maybe. Could you get a Cooper Kupp for that? Probably not, but you could try. I feel like there's definitely players that fall into this bucket of Swift slightly better than Swift by throwing in Pickens. Past that, I'm saying stand down. You can win with that team, Slayer. That's a fantastic team. Don't discredit your squad, bro. It's a really, really good squad. This one is from Kirkwood, $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Kirkwood coming in strong with a 20 wad. Just joined the stream. 12 team super flex Walker for Burrow. If it's super flex, you have Allen, Love, Walker. In super flex, Burrow's got more value than Walker in super flex, but you've got Love. Love's good enough, so I don't know that I love this trade as much as I would if you were dire need at a QB. You know, I would say this one's tough for me, and I especially look at your roster and I say to myself, this roster is pretty damn good. For the most part, you've got Bijan, you've got Breece, you've got Walker, you've got Pickens, you've got Garrett Wilson, you've got Kincaid, you've got, good quarterbacks. I would say as awkward as it is to say no to this because Burrow's got way more value. I don't know that I don't know. Chat, what do you think? In his situation, does he get rid of Walker for Burrow? In Superflex, you would draft Burrow over Walker every time, but it's close enough, in terms of your need isn't quite there for it because I think Love's good enough as your QB2. I know a lot of people hate Love right now, but I don't know. Let's see what the chat thinks here. K9 easily says, clone, remember this is Superflex. Finish the feed. This is tough. It's tough. Allen as a week 13 buy. Love, Walker, Bijan. I like your team, man. Trade Devontae Smith for Ridley. I'd rather have Devontae Smith, but I like Ridley. I buy low on Ridley. That's not buying low on Ridley, I don't think. K9. We're getting a lot of K9 votes. Look, if you're starting over in a draft, you draft Burrow over, but your team is constructed in a way that I don't think this is the best move, Kirkwood. I think you should try and get more at least and talk about the fact that Walker's balling out, bro. And some of the concern about his schedule is subsiding a little bit because the Niners are two of the matchups that are in the realm of concern for Walker's schedule down the stretch, and the Niners are getting run over. So, so Kirkwood's saying Walker's schedule is hell. It's not really. It's not as hell as you would think. The Niners aren't a tough schedule right now. The Niners are two of those teams. You take the Niners off, and now it's not as tough. The Niners are not necessarily going to shut him down. Burrow's tempting, though. I would love to see you do something a little bit different, but in that ballpark. I'm still okay with it, but get a little bit more, do another 1-for-1 swap in that, make it a 2-for-2. Trade my Mostert and Olave for Keenan, Allen, and Myers. I'd rather have Mostert and Olave. I think selling Mostert dirt cheap right now off of one game is a mistake. $10 hauler from my boy Michael Russo. Appreciate you. Would you do Myers, Lamb, Pacheco for Mostert, Waddle, Olave? I'd take Mostert, Waddle, Olave probably. Mostert, Olave, Waddle. Yeah, probably, but really close. Very close call. Gives you some upside, too, given your 3 and 4. But honestly, trust your gut. That one's very, very arguable. Kamara and Pickens for Ekeler. I'd probably rather have... I mean, that's tough, bro. I'd probably say, like, the safer side's Kamara Pickens. Pickens is playing great. Kamara's playing amazing. Eckler's not bounced back yet. He is older. I know Kamara is too, but I love Ekeler. I buy low on Ekeler all day long, but this is tough. If it was Kamara straight up for Ekeler, I might tell you to take the chance. We've had a couple people do that on the stream too. But you throw Pickens in, and all of a sudden you're giving too much when your player's playing outperforming Ekeler. So I'd probably say no. Lamb for my JT plus Pickens. I'd rather have JT and Pickens if you need a move. If you're winning, then don't trade Lamb. If everything's working great, then don't trade what isn't broken. Avan says JJ, Olave, Porta, Gibbs, Swift, Higgins, 2 and 5. Any advice? You're 2 and 5, and you're the one that's got this, JJ situation. I think you got to move him. You got, especially after the fact that the Vikings are winning, his value just went up. I would be very, very tempted to try and move him for a bunch of the players on screen here, a couple players on screen here. You've got to try to move him. I'd start off with the Hall owner, see what wide receiver you can get added. Start off with the Ekeler owner, see if you can get Ekeler. Bijan and something. Pollard, Taylor and something. Cooper Kupp. Just keep trying at all the big names on screen. Achane and a Devontae Smith. That way you're replacing JJ with Devontae Smith, but you also have Achane for later. And if you've got to throw in some other guy not on screen here, I'd be tempted to do that. But Evan, I think you got to get rid of JJ. You're unfortunately not the kind of team at 2 and 5 that can really wait on him. Mike Thomas looking better and better than Olave. Disagree, Garrett, but thanks for trying. Appreciate Garrett. Garrett has the highest super chat of the year with a $600 wad. So if anybody wants to take Garrett over, drop a $600 super chat. And you yourself can have your own emoji. Garrett, show him the emoji. Trade help. 4 and 4. 1-4 straight. Nice job. 0 and 4. Now 4 and 4. That's how you do it, Thomas. 10-team PPR. 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Wide receivers are Amon-Ra, Waddle, Watson, Dell. Running backs K9, Aaron Jones, Kyron, Hendo, Foreman, Spears. Trade Jones for Pittman. I don't trade Jones for Pittman. I know Pittman looks pretty decent right now, but Aaron Jones hasn't really bounced back yet. I don't do that. Start Gibbs or McLaurin. I'm starting Gibbs this week. I don't think you can. I mean, imagine sitting him last week because you're like, I don't know if I should. Like, you sat all year waiting on Gibbs and you sat him last week. Look, I venture to say this. If you don't take this the wrong way, Alex, but we did this the other week. This is with the Achane owners. I venture to say, Alex, you probably didn't start Gibbs last week because I don't know that you'd ask this question. And don't take us the wrong way, Alex, but I don't think you'd ask this question if you started him last week. If you started him last week, you'd be riding high going, yeah, buddy, he's back. We're doing it. We're riding out. But the only reason you would ask this question is if you sat him and you're psychologically trying to prove to yourself that you were right. And you're like, well, if I didn't start him this week and he doesn't do well, then I was kind of right last week to doubt it, right? I just don't see how. I don't see how, Alex, you could literally ask this question if you started him last week. To answer the question honestly, though, I want to know if you truly did start him or not start him last week. Just answer honestly. We won't get mad at you. 5 and 2. Any ideas on who I can buy on the low? QB Hurts, Brees, Javonte Williams, Brian Robinson. I'm getting rid of. You should have been getting Brian Robinson and selling him off when he still had value. Now I don't know that you can get anything. Hunt's got pretty decent value right now. Adams, I sell high for Devontae Smith and a wide receiver. If I'm this team, I'm going to the Achane owner, see what wide receiver you could get thrown in for an Adams trade, and do that little trade there, that little number. Adams for Achane and something. Adams for Brees Hall and something. Adams for Taylor and something. Adams for Ekeler. Moves like that, my boy David. Do it live. Tyler coming in strong. Start 3, Olave, Mayer, or Jacoby Myers. T. Higgins, Downs, Ridley. You got to go probably Ridley, Olave. No, I don't know. This is tough. This is a tough one. Chat, what are we doing here? Start 3? I'm not sitting Olave unless there's some backlash to his arrest, which I don't think there will be. So it would be Olave. It would be I don't know if I trust T. Higgins yet. It would be Josh Downs and maybe Ridley or Myers. I'd probably go Olave, Downs, and Ridley personally, Tyler. But I'd love to see what the chat thinks. And no one's crazy for going in a different direction than I'm saying here. Nobody. That's certainly arguable. Trade Pollard for Achane and DJ Moore. I would take Achane and DJ Moore, especially if you're 6-1. And the odds of DJ Moore bouncing back are still decent. So I definitely... this one here from Ivan. Should I trade Gibbs and Deontay for Achane? I would take Achane in a heartbeat over Gibbs. And I know that doesn't probably feel very good to hear. But look, we love both of them. And Achane's going to be a top 5 running back very soon again. Hill, Kupp, Devontae Smith, use number 1 waiver priority on Downs or Dell. Go for Downs, bro. Go for Downs unless Kyler's there because Kyler has more trade value. Would you do Pacheco and Ridley for Bijan and Nico? I would take Bijan and Nico for sure. Very, very good trade. Nice work. I like that buy low. Would you send Amon-Ra to get Jamar? Absolutely go get Jamar. But, you know, it's arguable to the point where maybe I shouldn't say absolutely, but I would definitely take the chance on that. Yo, go back to first super chat. Hollywood, not AJ. B. Hold on, bro. Now I gotta search it, pal. Hold on. Love Kamara JT. What is this? Okay, you didn't clarify there, KH3. You got to clarify. There's a lot of Browns. There's AJ Brown. There's Hollywood Brown. There's Johnny Brown. There's Charlie Brown. JT Hollywood for Evan, Thielen, Javonte. Now it's close. I still lean JT, though. But definitely doesn't make it quite as fun. I thought that one was fantastic earlier. Now it's just okay. Now I'm disappointed. But appreciate your super chat and your double super chat. Appreciate you. $5 hauler from Superfish. Non-PPR. Would you like to pick up Josh Downs? Only choice to drop are Christian Watson and Jordan Love. QBs on waivers aren't good, so I definitely wouldn't drop them. I would say, like, Watson's tough to cut, though. At the end of the day, is Josh Downs better? Right now, he is. I hope you can put Watson on IR before you have to like submit the waiver claim, or you can cancel it and resubmit it with, you know, an open spot because you can throw. But I don't know if Watson's going to be on IR. I'll say this. Would I rather have Downs this week? Yes. And maybe next week? Sure. I don't know what is in store for Watson. So I can Smitty approve it, but just keep an eye on Watson and do your very best to try and get him back if there's any signs of life. Gibbs and Addison for Ekeler. I would take Ekeler probably in a heartbeat, even though I do think Addison's amazing right now, and I do think Gibbs could continue, but I still take the Ekeler side pretty easy for me. Just got Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams and gave up A.J. Brown. Good move, or did I mess up? Come on, you're flexing on that. Adams and Kupp for A.J. Brown. I like A.J. Brown, but that's like veto material. You got him pretty hardcore. $10 hauler from Mike. Appreciate Mike with the super chat. Mike says, T-Law, ETN, Bijan, Achane, Algier, Bigsby, Roshan, Diggs, Olave, Ridley, Watson, Jamal Williams, or no, Jameson Williams. You guys got to do better with abbreviations. Jameson Williams, I assume. Dell, it's in receivers, so I assume. Dell, Mayer, just traded Amari and Pittman for Diggs and Bigsby. I'd take the Diggs side, bro. I think you got him pretty hardcore.
Got him.
Mike holding no prisoners, essentially, is what he's saying. $5 hauler, Kenneth Walker, DJ Moore for JT, JJ. Give me JT and JJ. But, I mean, that's really tough. But, problem is you're 1-6, though. I still bank on JT hanging enough with Kenneth Walker that you're able to survive the DJ Moore hit for now. I do it. I do it live. I don't care if you're 1-6. Do it. Hey, Smitty, I traded Brees and Pickens for Devontae Smith and Ekeler. I love Brees and Pickens. I do. It's very arguable, but I'm taking Ekeler and Devontae Smith. That's a nice move at the end of the day. Hassan with the $9.99 hauler, $10 hauler gets a moonshot. Appreciate you. Hold on, we got a $20 hauler from Mel that steps over everybody because $20 haulers get immediate assistance. Mel, appreciate you dropping the 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Tries are burning. Appreciate you, Mel. Mel says, Smitty, need your help with the lineup rest of season movements. 3 and 4, 12 team. Hurts, Gino, Aaron Jones, Mostert, Mostard, Mel. We got Hurts, Rent-A-Car. We got Gina. We've got Aaron Jones. We got Mostard, Connor, Madison. This autocorrect is brutal on Mel. This autocorrect is destroying Mel's message. Chase, Lockett, Palmer, London, Laporta, DeMarcado. I love how DeMarcado's now the starter in Arizona. Just a week early is all that is. What a disaster. I knew that this Ingram situation was garbage. I knew it. It sucks to be wrong when you're right. I was so wrong that first week on DeMarcado. DeMarcado's the pickup. Pick him up. Ingram. News breaks the next day. Ingram's number 1 on the depth chart. How does it make sense? It didn't make sense, and it didn't make sense on the field either. What do? Don't give Ingram the ball this game. In week number 7, they give it all to DeMarcado. So good on everybody that kept him, but unbelievable. This team's really solid. I think you keep Mostert. I think you would be very smart to try and get Achane somehow. I think it's hard to do that unless you trade away like a London and maybe I would trade. You're 3 and 4. This would be very scary and risky, but I would trade Aaron Jones for Achane and something. And if you could do like a London for like Devontae Smith swap, and they think they're getting one over on you, you just get even a little bit better of a job. Go after Achane using Aaron Jones. Now you might not be able to get that because Aaron Jones has been struggling, but I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel for anybody going after Aaron Jones or anybody trying to sell him. They know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Jamar Chase for a combo too, like Jamar Chase for Achane and a wide receiver that's extremely doubted right now. But it has to be the right wide receiver. You can't just trade Chase away. It has to be the right move. So I don't really know. Laporta is also, make sure Kincaid's not out there. You can pick up Kincaid and start him going forward and trade Laporta and somebody for Achane. Laporta and Flowers and Connor, try and get rid of combos for Achane. Try and go get JT using Aaron Jones and maybe Lockett or Flowers or even London and Aaron Jones for an upgraded quarterback like Pollard or Taylor potentially or Breece Hall. Those would all be moves to potentially make. As far as your starters, it's Aaron Jones and it's Mostert until further notice. Chase, Flowers, and either Lockett or London. You got to rotate. I'd probably go London for now. Flowers is also very tempting. But try your best to trade like DeMarcado. DeMarcado's on waivers. Okay. I don't know who you drop, though. You can't drop any of these. Maybe Palmer. Joshua Palmer is not the end of the world. If you can't put James Conner on IR. Thank you for your super chat. But Achane's the key, I think, if you get the right wide receiver with him. But only trade Chase if you're balling out on the trade. You have to be getting a massive return. I don't even know if Devontae Smith and Achane's enough for Jamar Chase. You'd have to get something else or some better wide receiver. Stroud, T-Law, Murray, JJ, Olave, Garrett Wilson. Maybe Cooper Kupp, too, because he's got this like, what if you trade Chase for Kupp and a player? What if that person had Achane and you give them back a running back? You give them back a London for Achane and that swap, that wide receiver swap. Chase in London for Cooper Kupp and Achane type of move. 10-team league, 4-3. Stroud, T-Law, Murray. At least you got Murray. JJ, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Aaron Jones, James Cook, K9. I like this team. Any moves? James Cook and Kirk. James Cook and Godwin. James Cook and Myers. Just to try and get some one of these underrated players on screen. I would use combinations like that. I'd even contemplate giving up Gibbs. I would try and do some sort of Gibbs, Kirk, Gibbs. Maybe you trade Stroud. Maybe the owner of one of these players like Achane or Ekeler or Bijan or Taylor or Pollard or Hall or Devontae Smith need a quarterback, and you could throw Stroud or T-Law or both and go balls to the wall on Kyler. I mean, you really need Love for one more week or Stroud for one more week, though. But that would be a fun move, I think, with that team. Try and acquire a doubted player like that or a player that you could get a little cheaper using the quarterback. Because you've got good quarterbacks. I think someone would like Stroud. Someone would like T-Law that's struggling at QB. Mostert plus Ridley for Bijan. I'd probably say this is pretty even right now because I still think Mostert's very valuable. Miami did bad as a whole. So I think people writing off Mostert right now after 1 week are crazy. But, Bijan could explode. He might not. I think that Bijan's maybe the safer long-term bet here because I think Achane does take over. Mostert could get hurt, and Ridley is an enigma, but a good player to bank on. I think Bijan's probably the safer side, but it's a tough one. Right on, Coach, standing down. Thank you, Slayer, for the super chat. 0-3 since losing JJ, by the way, and that's why a lot of people needed to trade him. DJ Meat Missile, $5 hauler, 3-4. Stroud, Fields is out. Running backs, Javonte, Sun God, Puka, Lamb. Need trade advice. I'd probably say you're trading. This is what the problem is. You're 3-4. You've been waiting on JJ. You got to explore the JJ new market value that's there. It doesn't mean you sell him. Like you buy him and sell him. That's why he's on the buy low list, or not buy low list necessarily, but buy list. This isn't necessarily buy lows. This is buys. You just buy these players. They're going to do better than I think their values in some cases. But even though he's a buy, he's also still a sell. And I don't think you can wait. You've got 3-4 really good receivers even outside of JJ. And you could go get Achane or Hall or Taylor or Pollard or Swift. In some cases with another big name player, depending on the player I named. But you have to go after a JJ trade, Meat Missile. It's the only move you have. There's not a whole lot of other wiggle room. This is a $5 hauler from Jay. Appreciate you, Jay. Nothing attached. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Always attach a message, guys. Don't send another message after that because it's not going to even be anytime close by the time I see it. I'll go looking later if I can to find that. Dynasty 1 QB PPR. Trade Bijan for Javonte and a 2024 first and second. Trade Bijan for Javonte and a 2024 first and second. Hell no. Like think about, Frank, how many first rounders it would have taken to get Bijan before this year started. We can't write him off from a dynasty perspective. I'm 2-5, Lamar, Ayuk. No, I'm not doing this. It's not even close for me, Frank. It's one of the biggest Smitty disapproved trade offers I've seen all day. It's just, he's worth so much more than that. You think I can win with Stroud, Law, Bijan, Brees, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, Henderson, Watson, Ingram, Achane sits on IR? Yeah, I think you can. I'd try and get a better quarterback in there to help kind of carry some weight. I think, it's interesting to explore like an Ingram and you go get like Kincaid off waivers or something. If you can explore that kind of avenue would open up a big little upgrade Stroud to Tua move. But Tua and Burrow might be your friends here. Even using Henderson, even using a DJ Moore downgrade to a Devontae Smith or Ridley. You know what I mean? Go to the Ridley owner and say, I'll give you DJ Moore for Ridley if you upgrade my quarterback into Tua. Like something along those lines, Ronnie. I think that's the only move you make. Some small little quarterback maneuver. And Tua, Kyler, and Burrow are probably the three QBs I like the most in that capacity. Hey, Smith got a D. Watson at QB. Deshaun Watson, little bruisey poo. Deshaun Watson's x-rays came back. It's just a bruise. It ends up being just a bruise. Should I trade Pollard for Higgins, Debo, and Christian Kirk? Kirk Cousins. No, I would not trade Pollard for that. You deserve way, way more. Look, Cousins is solid, and he did amazingly. And from a football perspective, he's been playing great, and I like what he's doing, but you can't trade Pollard. That doesn't help you win. And plus, Debo's injured. Smitty, you're on point. I have Kyler in 3 leagues and don't need him. There you go. I am listening to offers to strengthen my running backs and wide receivers for him, trying to get Bijan. That's what I'm talking about. So even the people out there that have him, and I'm saying go get him from the owner that has him, it's not a negative from that owner wanting to sell. They just have a surplus, and you gotta try and improve your lineup. Trade Evans and Pittman for Tank, Dell, and Adams. I would take Tank, Dell, and Adams. I'd still look to shop Devontae Adams, though, because I know he's not happy, and he's getting hospital balls delivered to him on the regular. Was offer Waddle for Nico. I would rather have Waddle, even though there's some injury risk with him. I'd rather have Waddle. Let's go. Smitty, Bud. Smitty, Bud, big fan of your perspective. Thank you. Wide receiver core. St. Brown, Flowers, Lockett, Addison, London, DJ, running backs Ekeler, Hall, Warren, QB, Hurts, Laporta, 4 and 2, 2 wide receivers and a running back hold. I like this team a lot. The only opportunity I see is using Addison's value on the high, not that we get rid of him cheap. Just is there opportunity to go buy something big, massive, somebody underperforming. Wide receivers on this list. Can you get Cooper Kupp using Addison and a London? Can you get Cooper Kupp using DJ Moore and Addison for Kupp and something? Can you trade just something like that? If you can trade, an Addison for Achane and Ridley, I would do that. Like things like that. Try and explore the Breece Hall, the Devontae Smith, the Ridley, the Achane, the Pollard, the Taylor, the Kupp. You don't need a quarterback upgrade. Those types of moves using combinations of, hey, I'll give you, my DJ Moore for Devontae Smith if you upgrade, because that's an upgrade to most people, right? Ridley's garbage or Devontae Smith's garbage right now. And even Addison has got more value than those guys. So what can you upgrade? If I give you Addison for your Devontae Smith, what will you upgrade? Will you take my let's see here. I love Hall and Ekeler, so it's not like you can really, like Addison for Achane or something. I would really explore that. I know that not a lot of people would right now. I would. I think I think Achane's the best go-get player. Laporta plus what type of tier of a player equals Kelsey? Laporta and honestly, like Pollard. Laporta and not even Taylor. Laporta and Ekeler equals Kelsey. Laporta and not even Breece Hall. So very rare instances can you even dial up something that makes sense for that. Kelsey's playing out of his mind. George with a 20 watt on screen. Georgie boy.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
You guys are getting me in good shape. I can barely move my arms, though. I can barely scratch my back now. I'm not trying to say my muscles are so big that I barely fit through doors. I'm not trying to say that in a bad way. But just like, it is weird. The arms are not bending the same. I can't even touch my back anymore. Part of that is because it's swollen. But I want to get cut. I don't want to get just this massive mound on my arm. The arms are getting bigger. The arms are getting bigger. Your boy's getting stronger for sure. The guns are there. But it's not cut. It's not cut. I'm definitely feeling stronger. But it's weird losing some bending ability. I literally can't touch my back. If I've got an itch, I got to take my elbow and shove my arm back there to scratch anything. Smitty can't wipe. Says Cito. George, 10-team, PPR, 3 and 4, 2 flexes, La, Ramondre Swift, Chase, Olave, Laporta, Gibbs, and Addison, Ridley. Look, you got a good team. Achane, Ford, trade T-Law, Ridley, Swift for Burrow, Breece, Devontae Smith in a millisecond.
You've just been Smitty approved.
BW says less weight, more reps. Bro, I'm doing that. I'm doing like 12 to 15 sets. I'm doing 20 sets, so I'm definitely on that. That's a smash trade. Absolute smash trade, George. One of the best trades I've seen all day. All day. 5 and 2 got Burrow, AJ Brown, Diggs, Olave, Etienne, Hall. Any trade moves? That's good. You got to stretch, Smitty. I do need to stretch. That is a good point. I do need to stretch more. I do need to because right now I feel so, oh, God. I feel so swollen all the time. But I do need to stretch more, and I do need to run and do more cardio, which I've done. I've been doing burpees. And then running about a quarter mile. Then I get back, do burpees. Then run another quarter mile, get back, do burpees. I've been doing that. That is harder than just running a mile. Like, that is brutal. Last night I was dying. I only did it like 3 sets of it too. Gabe Davis or Tank Dell, combination of each have a combination. Each one has their pros and cons, man. Each has their pros and cons. Half PPR 5-2. This is a good team. I probably say with this team I hold. You've got players I love. I'm going to say stand down unless you're trading Rachaad White and Kittle and you're getting some sort of like Burrow to Mahomes. Kittle for Burrow to Mahomes. I love Burrow. But am I taking Josh Allen or Mahomes or Hurts over Burrow? Yes. And would I give up Kittle to get that done? I probably would. I know he's playing really well, but like his Kincaid out there, how can you Rachaad White to get that quarterback upgrade? And it's not that I hate Burrow. I love Burrow, but he does have the potential calf injury risk. So I'm definitely looking to potentially get into a safer situation just for this year. And we still love Burrow. Traded T-Law, Bijan, and Debo for Goff, Walker, Ridley. I'd say W. But very arguable, Alex. Very close. Almost dead even. Chris with the $5 hauler. 14-team league. I've got Hurts, Love, Brees, JT, McLaughlin, Keaton Mitchell, Tyreek, Adams, Addison, Dell, Goddard, Kincaid. Do I trade or hold? I'd probably trade Goddard because his value is really high. Bank on Kincaid going forward. And if you could trade Goddard and Addison for a big-name wide receiver or trade potentially, JT into... I'd contemplate JT into Ekeler using Goddard. I think those are the only moves I'd look. I like your team other than that. I think you almost stand down if you can't make a move similar to that because your team's got a lot of players that are going to do well, earn more value, obviously give you more trade value walking into the next week. Thank you for your super. Any suggestions to make my roster? To my roster, I have Lamar, Kyler. Trade one of them. Trade Kyler if you can. Try and keep Lamar, I suppose. But I would take anything that made me feel like I was going to win the league. So Kamara, Gibbs, Chuba, Jeff Wilson, Flowers, Ridley, DJ Moore. I think you probably need to, no offense, bro. This is just me being honest. I don't think you have a team that can win it all right now. So I would trade Lamar. I would bank on Kyler. And trade Lamar. In an 8-man league, it might be tougher because a lot of people have good quarterbacks, but goodness gracious, man. I mean, you really could potentially turn Lamar into a Achane, Devontae Smith, or into an Ekeler, or into a JT and something, a Hall and something using Lamar. Lamar's got a lot of value right now, and if you throw in a Flowers or throw in a Pittman, you might be able to get two really good players, like two Brees Hall type players, one being a receiver, one being Brees Hall, or JT and a wide receiver. Maybe you could even turn Pittman and Lamar into Cooper Kupp. And so I just think you probably, Anthony, need to make a move. I don't know that your team is built to win the championship right here, right now. But one quarterback move, and you were smart to get Kyler because now you got options. One move and you might do it. Hung Like Hernandez says trade Chase for Olave and Brees in Dynasty. I would take Brees and Olave in Dynasty over Chase personally. I think that's a lot of value. I think people running from Olave and Dynasty are crazy. I would take that. It's arguable, though. I love Jamar Chase. Gibbs and Olave for JT and Godwin. I'd rather have JT and Godwin at this. Well, no, I'd take Gibbs and Olave, but that's really close. I'm wavering. Chat, which side do you like? Chat, vote on this right now. Olave, Gibbs, JT, Godwin. I want to lean JT because I feel like what JT could become, but we have no assurance on what JT's for sure going to be. So let's see what the chat says. 5-2 trade Swift for Achane Kincaid. I would take Achane and Kincaid for that in a millisecond, bro. Especially you're getting Kincaid. That's great. It's an amazing trade. $5 hauler trade Jalen Hurts and Jahan Dotson for JT before this week's game. I have Tua. That's not bad. I mean, I like Hurts a lot, but you've got Tua. You'll be fine. JT's a good player to go get. I needed a running back. Love the show. Thank you. Hey, Truth, you did good. I mean, you moved value around in a way that makes your lineup better, so you did a good job. Big W. JJ for Devontae Smith plus Garrett Wilson. I think that's okay. JJ for Bijan and Flowers. I think that's okay, too. I think keeping JJ, given we're a week closer now, is also... Every week we get closer, JJ holding JJ's becoming a better option for people that even have 3 wins. But I think Devontae and Garrett Wilson's pretty decent. I do think that if they blow for the next week or two, you're going to regret getting rid of JJ as he's weeks and weeks closer to coming back. I'd probably say give me Bijan and Flowers because I believe Bijan will explode. You could live to regret it, but, you know, if you need to make a move, you need to make a move. What's JJ going to help you later if you're out of the playoff hunt? So we got a couple JT votes. Gibbs, Olave, JT proven. It's about it. Close to JT. Olave. It looks like a mixed bag, but more so leaning to the JT side on that JT trade. Thank you for the chat for voting. Traded Bijan and Ayuk for Ekeler and Olave. I like that move. Give me Ekeler and Olave over Bijan and Ayuk, but it's arguable for sure. Given the bye weeks out of the way for Ekeler, I'd probably rather go that route, but I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that we're celebrating the Bijan side of that trade later. I'm just being honest. Trade my Pickens for Debo. I don't think so. I think Pickens is better. He's healthy. Debo's injured. We don't know when he comes back. He's coming back in double-digit weeks, you know, so that's a long time to wait. So, no, give me Pickens. Trade away Puka, K9 for Chase, Pierce, and Ayuk. I'd rather have Puka and K9 over Chase on that side, so give me the Puka side. Puka's playing out of his mind, bro. $10 hauler. Let's go, Cooper. Thank you, Cooper, for the super chat. 3 and 4. Hurts, Ekeler, Saquon, Kupp. Would like to upgrade wide receiver 2 flex. Don't know who to sell or buy. Ridley, Hollywood, Judy, Javonte, Tank Dell. Would like to upgrade wide receiver 2? So Hurts, Ekeler, Saquon, Kupp, Moore, beat Brian Robinson. I'm trading Brian Robinson. I kind of like Kupp, DJ Moore, and Ridley to an extent, but would I like to trade DJ Moore and like Brian Robinson to go get a wide receiver like Kupp, to go get a wide receiver like, I mean, honestly, I'd trade DJ Moore for Devontae Smith. I would trade Brian Robinson and Hollywood for Devontae Smith. You might even not need to trade DJ Moore. I'd trade Brian Robinson and Judy, Brian Robinson and Hollywood for Devontae Smith. I would trade Ridley or DJ Moore with Brian Robinson for Cooper Kupp. I would trade Brian Robinson and Hollywood for Chris Olave. I think all those would make sense for your team, Cooper. They would be pretty decent moves for you. But I really, really like Devontae Smith right now. I still do. I don't care that he didn't have as big a game. I still believe in him. 5-2, 12-team league, tied for first early, but 10 weeks, week 10 buys. Mahomes, Kelsey, smash. This duo is going to carry you. Henderson, drop any of the QB tight end. Deontay for QB tight end. Drop any for QB tight end. Okay. Deontay Johnson, I'm not holding very... I don't care about Deontay Johnson. So Deontay Johnson, cut him. Tank Dell, I like. Spears, I like. Roshan, I like. I don't know that I dropped those guys. Spears, Kyron, Achane, IR. You got a good team, bro. I'm holding other than Deontay, and if you could pick up somebody like Kincaid or whatever, that's a great team. Stay the course. I think it's going to do well, but Deontay's your cut. $10 hauler from that boy. Appreciate that boy dropping fire. 2 QB, 3 wide receiver, 10-man. Team is love. Russell Wilson, K9, Barkley, Olave, Puka, Lamb, Laporta, Flex, Gibbs. I'm talking with a Herbie manager to make a deal for him. What should I give up for him? For Herbert, I guess I would give like I don't know, like Gibbs for Herbie, and you give your quarterback back or whatever quarterback he wants. Laporta for Herbert, maybe. I don't know that I'm trading. I mean, maybe Olave for Herbert if you feel comfortable getting that quarterback in there and you've got K9, Barkley, Puka, Lamb, Laporta. I'm fine with that, but don't give up Puka, don't give up Lamb, don't give up K9. Probably wouldn't even give up Barkley, although I would give up Barkley if he gave you an RB back, but definitely not, in the business of giving up any of those bigger name guys, I think. $5 hauler, 10 PPR, 5-2, Fields, Cousins, Diggs, Wilson, Watson, KJ, Addison, Hall, Swift, Kincaid, what to offer for Burrow and Higgins, other moves. Fields or Cousins, probably Cousins is going to be easiest to get rid of. Cousins and Addison could get you potentially Burrow and Higgins, maybe. And there's arguments in favor of that and not in favor of that, though. I think, if you were to trade, let's say, Sanders, who I feel like is totally not worth a lot right now, but maybe you can get rid of him. I think because you got 2 tight ends, I'm trying to explore that. I don't know if the Burrow owner needs a tight end, but that's one opportunity you have. And if not, maybe the Kyler owner or the Tua owner needs a tight end, and you can send a package that has Ingram and let's say the quarterback for Tua. Something along those lines. Or Kyler. If the Kyler owner doesn't even need a quarterback back, you can give them one back, but also give them Ingram and get Kyler. Those are probably the moves I would be tempted to make if I was you. Past that, I like the team a lot. Minus, getting that quarterback upgrade. I think you're pretty solid. Do you have Achane? Achane's going to continue to be a guy that I spit out of my mouth all week long as a guy to go get, especially if you can do some sort of Achane and player for one player. Hall, Gibbs, Dell for Bijan Waddle. Hall, Gibbs, Dell for Bijan Waddle. I'd probably rather have Bijan Waddle, but very close. And, we're obviously beholden to the way the Falcons use him. So it's risky, but it's a risk I'd be willing to take in that situation. 10-team PPR, Herbert, Ekeler, ETN, Chase, Olave, Hawkinson, Ridley. Big flex team by Howard here. Gibbs, Addison, Flowers, Achane, Hunt, Kyler, 1-6. How are you 1-6? This team, I get it. Eckler's been out. Chase has struggled and then, done well, not done well. Ridley struggled. Achane's been injured. I get it. Like, Addison's just getting going. Good God, bro. This team's phenomenal. You stand down. You hold. This team's going to be the comeback team of the league. This is a phenomenal team, Howard. This should not be 1-6. It's Howard time. It's Howard time. Unleash Howard. Unleash Howard. Yeah, buddy. Unleash Howard right now. Howard, stand down, bro.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
I can't believe that guy's 1-6. Unbelievable. Howard, good job on your team, though, but I'm sure you're questioning life right now. Howard is sitting there going, is up really down or is down up? I don't really even know anymore. Is that blue? Does blue even exist? How in the hell? How in the hell is up mean up and down mean down and right mean right? Howard's confused. I don't blame him. This is the best 1-6 team I've ever seen. Poor Howard. Howard, we believe in you. And let me knock some, awareness into your noggin right now and say, stay the course. Fasting will help cut some LBs. Efren, I fast every day. You're correct. Thank you, pal. Appreciate the suggestion, and I'm definitely on top of the fasting. I fast. I don't eat until 2 o'clock. Hi, from Oz. I'm 2-5. I have Burrow and Love. Barkley, Pollard, Monty, Warren, Adams, London, Kelsey, Kincaid. I'm trying to get rid of Kincaid. I don't know if anybody's going to buy him at what he's worth. I don't really want you to get rid of Kelsey. You're Barkley, Pollard, Montgomery, Adams. It's a good team. Adams for, the Achane, Devontae Smith. Adams for Taylor and Devontae Smith. Taylor and potentially Ridley. Adams for combinations of some of these guys, if you can get two of them, are something I'm really looking at. Past that, this team's a very, very stand down. Just trying to get rid of Kincaid. I would explore Kelsey trades, but you're a good enough team that I don't know that I want you to get rid of Kelsey. It's kind of one of those things, don't trade if it's not broke type of thing. But I'd entertain it, like if someone was to overpay. Smitty, you may not remember, I am visually impaired, so I may not have names spelled wrong, and I have never seen them spelled. Love the show. I'm sorry, bro, Mel, I didn't know that. I don't remember anything. So, Mel, appreciate you. Mel, my bad. I'm sending myself on a lap on that one because I didn't know. Damn it! I'm sorry, Mel. I hope I've proved to you that I'm sorry. Remember, Mel. I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry, Mel. Mel's correct. Mel doesn't have to chill. Mel, for if you didn't know, I slapped myself in the face like 4 or 5 times. This, so you know. My bad, Mel. That really hurt too. I hit myself pretty hard. I punished myself pretty hard. Shame on me. Like, honestly, that's my bad. Mel to the moon. Mel stock is up. I really smacked myself good. Mel, I took a right hook. I took a couple slaps. Isan, back to my super chat. Sent Hall owner offer Gibbs and Garrett Wilson for Hall. Gibbs and Garrett Wilson for Hall. I would probably take that. But there's pros and cons to that, my guy. Smitty out here making fun of the... I'm not, bro. I just smacked myself in the face. What are you talking about? Sepsis, I hope you're joking. I mean, I literally smacked myself in the face over and over for messing up. And I hope, Sepsis, you're joking. Back to my super chat. Sent Hall owner. Yeah, okay. I definitely think there's arguments there, but I'm gonna take the Hall side. I explained that I hit myself though. So Mel, I apologize again. I don't know how many more times I can say sorry before a few of you think that I'm serious. All right, Sepsis is joking. All right, let me take. Did I take another lap? There. Okay. Anyway, well, I did make fun of some of the spelling on his message, but I mean that's all I made fun of. I didn't mean to make fun of anything. He knows that. Mel's good people. 6-1. Mahomes, Barkley, Gibbs, Keenan Allen, Kupp, Kelsey, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Olave, Saints D, Kirk, and Stroud on my bench. Going for Rice and Henderson on waiver wire. Any suggestions or hold? Good team. I'm still selling Barkley high if I can. Taylor, Bijan, Ekeler, Hall. Those are all options. Kelsey, Amon-Ra, Olave. Love the team. Very tempted to go after combos of Achane and Devontae Smith. Achane and Ridley to get rid of Keenan Allen if you feel like you need to make a move. But I would say you might not be the team that needs to do that. If I'm you, I'd probably just hold Allen. I'd probably hold Kupp. I hold Kelsey, Amon-Ra, Mahomes, Gibbs. You're really good. The only thing I maybe work on is moving Barkley for JT, moving Barkley for Hall, moving Barkley for Ekeler. And if you have to give up something like Christian Kirk, I do that. But other than that, don't try and fix what isn't broken, bro. That's amazing. I know you're just messing with me, guys. I'm just joking around. A couple of you I thought were serious, but leg day much better than running. Says Rush. Says the person that doesn't like to run, Rush. Let's be honest. Most people say that because they don't want to run. Tua, Cousins, Ridley, DJ Moore, Myers, Bijan, Kamara, Gibbs, Spears, Achane, Laporta. Should I craft up a wide receiver trade? Who would you target? What would you offer? Cousins to a QB needy owner is definitely a good step in the right direction. DJ Moore and Gibbs for one player. DJ Moore and Cousins for one better wide receiver. Cooper Kupp, a la Cooper Kupp, who's tradable right now. You can get him right now. DJ Moore for... Maybe you keep DJ Moore. I love that you're getting Achane back. You got Bijan, Kamara. You could afford to get rid of Gibbs. You could get rid of Gibbs and Laporta if you wanted to swing big at a wide receiver. Like, I don't think you're going to get Kupp or Taylor. You could try Ekeler. You could try. You've got Bijan already, so you can't get Bijan. Hall would be fantastic, even though you don't necessarily need the RB, but I'd still do that. Gibbs and Laporta and Myers for Hall. Devontae Smith using Gibbs, to be honest. Those are all. Devontae Smith is your friend right now if you need a wide receiver one that's hidden, that nobody feels is a wide receiver one. Half PPR 1 and 6. Howell, Lamb, Metcalf, Watson, Sutton, DJ, Pollard, Najee. I'm trying to trade high. Sanders, I'm trying to get rid of. These are all players that I hated all year at the running back position, and now they're just almost worth nothing. I don't know if you can get rid of not in my defense. Christian Watson is a wide receiver I loved, and he's worth almost nothing at now. So my bad on that part. But I would say like Howell, like can you get Tua? Can you get rid of Christian Watson and Deontay and maybe even Sanders for a Howell to Tua upgrade, to a Kyler upgrade, to a Burrow upgrade? I think quarterback upgrade would be your friend here. Najee for good God, Najee and Deontay for Achane. Najee and I don't know. I don't even know what you could do here. This is a tough squad. I'm not going to lie to you, man. 1 and 6. There's Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $500 for a limited time. I'm not saying give up, but Edgar, this is a tough one. This is a really tough one. Pollard, not you without touching Pollard and Lamb. How do you fix this team? DK's injured, but I don't mind that. Those are 3 decent pieces. Really, if you could turn Najee and Sanders and Deontay or Christian Watson, Najee and Sanders into just one player, you get more value out of that one player. You know, like Taylor, or you're not getting Ekeler, but maybe you trade Pollard for Ekeler and something. That's probably where you could win. Like Pollard for Ekeler and Ridley, who's free. Pollard for Hall and Ridley, who's free. That's the move I would make, my guy. Turn Pollard into one lesser running back in the eyes of the owner that you're acquiring the player from, and get that free Ridley. Go to the Ridley owner. Go to the Devontae Smith owner. See what running back they have and see if that 2-for-1 makes sense. That would probably be the best way. McCaffrey owner is 1 and 5. Which 2 players can I send him? Bijan, Waddle, McLaurin, Swift, Andrews, Kelsey. I mean, why do you have Mark Andrews and Kelsey? Like, you've been sitting on that. It's week number 8, Keaton. It's week number 8. What move were you doing there? What kind of cute move was that on draft day? You got to sell one of those tight ends. So, you know, I mean, honestly, he might not take Andrews, but Andrews and McLaurin, Andrews and Swift. I don't even know if that's going to be possible. Bijan and Andrews for CMC and something. Monty and Andrews. Lockett and Waddle and McLaurin and Andrews. Like Swift and Andrews and Hollywood Brown, all for Bijan. Kelsey for McCaffrey. Kelsey for McCaffrey. I mean, you might have to go that route. But good God, get rid of one of the tight ends, my guy Keaton. You've got it sitting right in front of you, and the answer is right there. Keaton, you do that, you're going to have a good team. Go get Christian McCaffrey. He's got to make a move. That or he's going to let the house burn down. $20 holler from Anthony.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Tries are burning. Tries are a burning. Anthony, appreciate you. Hurts, Brees, Aaron Jones, St. Brown, Puka, Evan, Ingram, Thielen, Christian Watson, Jerome Ford, JSN, Rashad White, Tank Dell. I'm still selling Thielen high. 10 team PPR. 0-3, now 3-4. Nice job. See any moves? I was leaning stand put. I like the team. Look, your team's coming around. Aaron Jones, you can't sell low. You ride it out. Puka's playing great. Evan Ingram's doing well. Thielen, I sell high if the opportunity presents itself. Rashad White and Thielen for 1. Achane. Rashad White and Thielen for... What about... I don't know if you're going to get rid of Aaron Jones, though, but part of me wonders if you can get Ekeler using Aaron Jones and Thielen. I would do that. Rashad White, Aaron Jones, and Downs are very tradable pieces right now. Downs and Rashad White for Devontae Smith. Downs and Rashad White for... That would work. Devontae Smith. Achane, Devontae Smith, even Olave for that combination. I believe you could probably get rid of Downs that high right now. Rashad White's a running back. Someone's going to give you Devontae Smith, Olave. You know, Rashad White for Ridley. $10 hauler.
To the moon.
I like the Rashad White for Ridley idea too. Standalone. 6-1 PPR. Who should I go get with my Adam Thielen and Pollard team? Is Tua, AK, Pollard, Chase, AJ Brown, Keenan. Pollard and Thielen for Ekeler and something. Pollard and Thielen for CMC, but they're not going to do that. But I'm just telling you that's what I'm shooting for. Thielen and Pollard, really it's Ekeler. If you went after like a Bijan, you need to get another player in return. So like if you're getting a 2-for-2 done where you're getting a wide receiver I actually really like a Devontae Smith, then that makes sense, AJ. I know I'm saying a lot of the same names in these questions, but that's the reason for the show. The list here is what I'm wanting a lot of people to acquire. Just like Mahomes was the best buy low all season long, and now that ship has sailed. We kept hitting it over and over and over because people had doubts about Mahomes. So, like, maybe he won't be as good this year because they're not jiving. Well, guess what? They're back. 3-4, 14 team, 0.5 PPR, Swift, Tyreek, Olave, Andrews, Nico, benches, Eli, Mitchell, Keaton. I'd love for you to get a better QB. Burrow, Kyler, and Tua are the quarterbacks of choice right now. And can you get rid of, let's say, I don't even know if you have enough firepower to get this done. You know, like I don't know if you can get rid of Olave, Tyreek, Andrews, or Swift. You almost have to try and bank on like getting rid of a Nico or a Keaton Mitchell once his value gets higher. You know, you're banking on Sharps, knock on wood, getting some work or getting in there somehow. Roshan taking over, Bigsby taking over, knock on wood. You need things like that to happen for you to really, Jeff Wilson to take on some more work before you can really even utilize anything. You're 3-4. I probably hang tight for a little while. Let Andrews, Tyreek, and Olave and Swift all marinate for a bit. I think they all don't go down in value. I think they all either maintain or get better. So I probably wait. You might have to. This is going to be hard to hear, Brady, but you're 3-4 with Tyreek Hill, and you got a tight end advantage, and you're 3-4. You might have to divide and conquer Tyreek at some point. Maybe explore those offers now. Like, can you go get an Achane and Kupp for Tyreek Hill right now? And that might seem like a lot to ask, but Tyreek is number 1 or number 2 overall. Kupp, after Puka exploding last week, has seemed to kick the value in the NADs a tiny bit. So I would explore that. Shoddy, 2-5, Stroud, Fields, Walker, Bijan, Hall, Swift, Pacheco, Gibbs, Achane, Puka, Moore, Addison, 2-5, bro. Trade a running back for a top QB or wide receiver. I definitely don't mind you going after a QB upgrade. I really, really, really like your RB room. I love Walker, Bijan, Hall. I think Swift, Pacheco, Gibbs, Achane, you're fantastically set up. Your wide receivers are not bad, but I certainly would explore getting rid of Pacheco or Swift for a wide receiver. I kind of feel like Pacheco or Swift with Addison or with DJ Moore could get you a Kupp. Pacheco and Addison for Kupp. Pacheco, Swift and Addison for Kupp. I honestly don't know what else I would go after wide receiver wise. I mean, I don't think you're going to get Jamar Chase using Swift and Addison. You could certainly try. I don't think you're going to get Diggs. You could certainly try. I swing for those. Past that, you're not getting Tyreek Hill. You're not getting anything like that. So if you don't get that, you're kind of banking on Puka, Addison, Devontae Smith and DJ Moore as your wide receivers, and that's not bad. Your team shouldn't be 2-5. I definitely would consolidate. You don't even necessarily need to like go. I mean, let me look at the fantasyfootballshow.com rankings. My bold predictions rankings are all on thefantasyfootballshow.com, one-on-one text device, etc., etc. And if I look at the rankings right now and I say what wide receiver could you get, it's like Amon-Ra, St. Brown, A.J. Brown potentially, I guess. So if we look back at this and we say A.J. Brown using Pacheco or Swift with Addison, that might get you A.J. Brown. DJ Moore, maybe you keep Addison, you go DJ Moore and Pacheco, DJ Moore and Swift for A.J. Brown for St. Brown. Those might be good moves, Shoddy. But I don't think I rush anything because your team's really, really solid, bro. Really, really like the team. Zach, you got 30 seconds.
What's up, Smitty? I have 2 trade offers. I want to see which one you like better. The first one is Gibbs and Waddle for Cooper Kupp.
I take Cooper Kupp.
Okay. And then the second one is Garrett Wilson and Waddle for Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I'd rather have the first one. Give me Cooper Kupp.
Okay, for sure.
That's a good trade. All right, later, bro. All right, let's see here. Where were we? Super chat from Mark. Herbert, Goff, Tyreek, Olave, Pittman, Kirk, Walker, Gibbs, Najee, Laporta, 501, Gibbs, and Olave for Jonathan Taylor and Godwin. Gibbs and Olave. I would take Jonathan. Oh, I already answered this one, didn't I? Gibbs and Olave. I think I'd rather have Gibbs. I guess give me the Taylor side right now. I might have wavered on this one earlier. I think I did answer this and wavered. Mel, appreciate you, Mel. Mel says, we good, did not take it personally, but don't hit yourself, bro. We're good. Don't get offended. I don't get offended easily. Love the show. Never change. Appreciate you, Mel. Appreciate you very much. This one here, what can I get for T? Sucks, but I love my T. You love your little T. Higgins. T. Higgins for Devontae, for Kyler if you need a QB, Tua if you need a QB, Aaron Jones, Olave, Devontae Smith. Add a little more, get Taylor. Add a little more, get Swift. Add a little more, get Aaron Jones, or maybe T straight up for Aaron Jones. Those are all maneuvers you can make for your team. I suppose Aaron Jones for Palmer or Downs. I'd take Aaron Jones over both those guys, bro. Come on. You can't sell Aaron Jones that cheap. Thomas, Aaron Jones is going to bounce back to a certain degree, I believe. And it just he needs volume. He's just getting worked in slowly. Gibbs, Godwin, Garrett Wilson for Jacobs and Keenan Allen. I would take Jacobs and Keenan Allen, but then I try and flip Jacobs. Is a very good question, though. Collusion with the $10 hauler. Appreciate my boy Collusion coming in strong. Smitty, you're missing out on some potential marketing dollars for the show. Need to move Pollard. What am I missing out on potential marketing dollars? I don't know what that means, Russian. Need to move Pollard. Name down and put. Need to move Pollard. Name down and put Swift next to Taylor. Love the show, man. You moved up a spot in Marsman. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I won in the Marsman League, thank God. But I don't know what you mean on this message, though. I'll be honest. Smitty, you're missing out on some potential marketing dollars for the show. Need to move Pollard. Name down and put Swift next to Taylor. I'll say collusion. I read it 3 times. I'm not sure. I'm going to look for your clarification. You don't necessarily need to super chat it again, but maybe restate that. Let's see here. 10-man, 1 QB. I'm 1-6 somehow. Josh Allen, Ramondre, Rashad White, Diggs, Devontae, Kincaid, Kmet, Puka, Pickens, London, J-Mo, Downs, Madison, 10 first rounders in 2024 to 2026. Bro, you're a maniac. A 10-man, 1 QB, I'm 1-6 somehow. Josh Allen, Ramondre, Rashad White, Diggs, Devontae, Kincaid. Okay, I like the team. I don't know what else to recommend you do. You already got all the future you can handle, right? I mean, I'm trading Devontae Adams while I can. Devontae Adams and White for one better player, one younger wide receiver. Diggs for a younger wide receiver. Puka, fantastic dynasty value. I like the squad a lot, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to move like Rashad White and Diggs, Rashad White and Devontae Adams. Just go after some of the young bucks that are doing bad right now. You know, Olave's pretty cheap right now. Achane is doubted to an extreme degree. I give up a lot of that to build around that team, especially if you're losing right now. You get Achane cheap while people are like, he's hurt right now. Maybe he's too small. Dynasty Tua, Bijan, Gibbs. Bijan, go get Bijan. Dynasty Tua, Bijan, Gibbs, Waddle, Keenan Allen, Thielen, Waller, bench, Olave, Aaron Jones, Algier, Hopkins, Higgins, Dell, Achane, 5 and 2 also have early 2024 first, and he moves. Thielen, sell while he's popping off. Keenan Allen, sell, he's older. Waller, sell, he's older. Aaron Jones, sell, he's older. We're trying to get every young man on this screen. This guy's super attainable. You throw first rounders in, maybe you get it done. Maybe you trade a team that needs to win now. You got to look at all those things, James. There's so many components here. What team can win now that's going to be willing to buy Keenan Allen and Thielen and Aaron Jones, you know, or Hopkins or Higgins? There's a lot of older players. So I don't know. I mean, Bijan and Gibbs and Waddle and Olave is fantastic to build around. You're trying to get rid of these guys for doubted younger players, and there's a plethora of them. Even if I'm moving one for Ridley, I'm trying to move, not Keenan or anything, but like Thielen for Ridley, I'm doing that small move. I'm trying my best to get a handful of these doubted wide receivers like Devontae Smith that people are, if they're giving up on them now in redraft, they're giving up on them from a long-term perspective, too, to some degree. Smitty, we like Devontae Smith or DeAndre Swift for flex this week. I'm going to go with Devontae Smith, bounce back, Ian. I really believe it. I could be a week early. I feel like I've been a week early on some of this stuff and lately. And I do believe that Devontae Smith bounces back. And I think I was just a week early. I said it last week. I think he does it. Do I trade Olave, Hurts, Ekeler for J.J. Brees and Tua? Olave, Hurts, Ekeler for J.J. Brees and Tua. Olave, Hurts, and Ekeler. It's really even, bro. Very even. Like, you could throw out Ekeler and Brees if you wanted. You could throw out... It's tough. I mean, I would say I lean toward the Olave, Hurts, Ekeler side if you need wins now. If you can weather through, JJ's side might be better once he's back. Who do you like better for rest of season, Addison or Flowers? Probably Addison, but very arguable once JJ's back. JSN for Purdy. My QBs are Howell and Fields. I don't mind that. I think Purdy could be Brock Purdy, or he could be Brock Purdy again. We'll have to see. Olave, Garrett Wilson, but that's not a bad move. I think you need a quarterback. You could buy him cheap. I'd rather have Kyler. Beast, have Saints D switch for Bolts, Miami, Lions, Falcons. Probably say give me, as far as this week goes, bro. Let's see here. I mean, long term, I don't know. Long term, we'd have to take a longer gander at it, bro. But I would say from this week's perspective, we're talking about Bolts, Dolphins, Lions, Falcons. Bolts, Dolphins, Lions, Falcons. Lions, Falcons, Saints. I'm trying to get myself into... I don't know that I love any one of these options this week, really. These are all tough. I guess I'd go with the highest scoring team on average, bro, because none of these matchups are glorious, bro. The Saints maybe, I guess, because of the let's see here. Let's hold on. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Some of these matchups are good. Let's see. I'm sorry. Some of these are great matchups. My bad. I had the wrong week pulled up. I was like, what in the hell am I looking at? This isn't the correct week. So Chicago, Bolts at home against Chicago is great. Miami at home versus the Patriots is very tempting. Yeah, these are all good matchups, bro. What am I saying? Falcons are good on the road against the Titans. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins, man. I think the Dolphins come back on a tear in week number 8. Those are all very good matchups. Again, my fault reading that wrong. Thank you. Give me the Dolphins, bro. I just think they come back on a terror, absolute terror. Put message in chat. Collusion, you gotta stop talking in like shorthand. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I love my boy Collusion, though. Give Collusion a round of applause.
Mashed potatoes.
But Collusion, you gotta stop talking in shorthand. You gotta type in complete sentences. Collusion. On your screen, we are seeing you have Pollard next to Taylor, and it should read Taylor Swift. Oh. Okay, I got you, Collusion. I wasn't picking up on what you were saying, so we'll put Pollard right here. He wanted me to do this. There's marketing to be had, is what he's saying. Taylor Swift. There you go. Collusion to the moon. Collusion, appreciate you. Collusion to the freaking moon.
To the moon.
Collusion knows I'm just yelling at him because I respect the hell out of him. That's what that's about. Hassan, Gibbs and Olave for Pollard. Give me Pollard. Blackbeard, appreciate you being here. We haven't seen you in a little while. It seems like you've been missing. What up, Smitty? Thinking of offering Allen for Hurts. I would rather have Josh Allen slightly. I have A.J. Brown. The stack's fun, but I'd rather have Josh Allen. I don't worry so much about the stack. I just think Josh Allen is solid. Go forward, bro. $10 hauler from Rocky. Thank you, Rocky. Appreciate you. 2 and 5, Diggs, Ridley, DK, London, Olave, great wide receivers. James Cook, Bijan, Moss, Henderson, Akers, Connor, IR, Kincaid, Taysom Hill on waivers. need to tweak the lineup. Thanks, Smitty. I like some of what you got going on. I'm definitely trading Henderson and Cook and Akers and Connor if I can. And I don't know that you can. James Cook and London might get you some sort of bump somewhere. James Cook and London for what? Tough to say. James Cook and London for, I mean, just look at this list here and try and cook up something. I think maybe James Cook for Swift if you give up something small. I think maybe, you going after JT would be a fun idea, given that you have Moss, but I don't know that you got enough firepower to really pull it off. Like DK and James Cook for JT. Is that possible? London and James Cook for JT. Is that doable? Bijan, is he cheap enough right now to give up a James Cook in London or James Cook in DK? Maybe, maybe not. Could you get Hall for that? Those are all tall orders, but doable. James Cook and a Henderson, James Cook and a Akers, James Cook and a Connor, trying to get your hands on an Aaron Jones or a Swift. Those are all very, very solid ideas, I think. McBride over Mayer rest of season? I don't think so. I think I'd rather have Mayer. Mayer didn't have the game we wanted, but he's still a very talented player that I think gets used more and more. Dynasty, Superflex, Herbert, JSN 2024 first, or Swift Lamar. I'd probably rather have Swift. I like JSN a lot. Give me Herbert JSN, but pretty close, pretty damn close, to be honest. All right, dial into the show. We're going to do 30-second phone calls. I'm hanging up on you after 30 seconds. We're going to stick very firmly to this time. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Marsman. Marsman get in quicker than anybody else, but I don't care who it is. You're getting 30 seconds, and I'm hanging up on you. Plain and simple. That's just the nature of this process, and so we're doing it live. Monica with a $10 hauler. Appreciate your $10 hauler. 2 and 5. Love Fields Olave. Chase, Swift, JSN, Goddard, Achane, Watson. Can I drop Freeman for Stroud or Minshew? I definitely would take Minshew or Stroud over Minshew because I don't know how long term he is. I would definitely drop Freeman. As far as your team, trust Dallas or pick up Kincaid. I'm definitely not cutting Dallas, but if you're talking about Dallas Goddard, trust Dallas Goddard, I think is what you mean. Yeah, pick up Kincaid if you can, but you're not sitting Dallas Goddard. Goddard's fantastic, but Kincaid's got a lot of good trade value. But I don't know that you can really cut anybody. This is a small bench league. Freeman's your cut, and I think Stroud's more important than Kincaid potentially for you. But I do like the idea of getting Kincaid somehow. I just don't know if it would be through like a 2-for-1 trade to open up a spot. Like if you could trade Foreman on the high. Foreman, I think you said I don't know if people are trading in this league, but if you're able to trade, like, let's say JSN on the high with Henderson, JSN with Foreman, and you go get some cheap player, like Devontae Smith on the cheap, and then now you have an open spot for Kincaid. But I personally would drop Freeman for Stroud because quarterback's a little important for you at this moment in time. With that team, that specific team there. And then this one here, $5 hauler from Pierce. Pierce says Gibbs, Flowers for Chase, or Henry, Flowers for Chase. I would say give me Gibbs and Flowers for Chase because of the uncertainty of Gibbs' workload. We love him. I think he's fantastic, but there's still concerns for sure, and I'd definitely make that trade. Ninja, you got 30.
What's good, yo? Full PPR. Tank Dell or Hollywood Brown? And for defense, would you do the Miami or New York? New York Giants.
Tank Dell or Hollywood Brown? I mean, Hollywood Brown's probably a tad bit safer, but I mean, all it takes is one game out of Dell, and we're back on the train. Everybody's back on the train. And what was the defensive question? Hurry.
It was the New York Giants or the Dolphins.
Okay, New York Giants or the Dolphins. New York Giants or the Dolphins. Giants are okay, but I think Miami is a great play this week on defense. I'm going to take Miami. I think Miami bounces back on a tear. Arthur, you got 30.
Motion detected at the front door.
Arthur, you got 24.
Hey, can you hear me, Sid?
You got 19 seconds, yep.
All right, just made a trade. I don't know if it's got him, probably like a borderline got him. If not, like
you got 11
trade.
seconds,
so
bro.
Traded Mostert and Henderson for Ekeler.
Mostert and Henderson for Ekeler? Of course it's a got him. You're in here to flex. That's all you're here to do. Ekeler, you blasted him, bro.
Got him.
Thank you.
Absolutely blasted him. Now pat yourself on the back. Now hope that he's still friends with you. I hope that wasn't a relative because they're gonna disown you. Freaking horrible trade.
That's a friend of mine.
Yeah, it was a friend of
yours.
yours.
I don't know if you remember, but I got Josh Allen and Tua. So after this week, I plan on trying to trade Tua and either Higgins or Waddle for St. Brown.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Lineup
Ruin other friendships. Nice job, James. All right, later, James. Good job. James just disowning friendships left and right. That guy will trade anything. He'll sell his family members. We got 813 caller. Who's this and where are you calling from? 813 caller.
Hey, this is Sepsis from Tampa, Florida.
What's up, Sepsis?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, I got an offer out there, okay, for Kelsey, and I'm trading. Crap, you made me forget. Trading Kelsey for Andrews and Mostert. Is that a good deal?
No.
I have Mahomes, and I have.
Trading for Kelsey, yes. Trading for Kelsey side by a mile.
Okay, yeah, good. That's all I need to know, brother.
I mean, I like the other side, but definitely not doing that. All right, later. Definitely not get rid of Kelsey, or I'm acquiring Kelsey. Yes. Thank you, Sepsis. Appreciate you. Rock out. I saw you calling in. I was trying to answer it, but for some reason it wouldn't let me. Matt Biaggi, you got 30.
Yeah. Who's the odd man out? I have Godwin, Cooper, Lockett, Kincaid, full PPR.
Godwin, Cooper, Lockett, Kincaid.
Odd man out.
Godwin, Cooper, Lockett, Kincaid. Godwin, Cooper. What did Godwin do last week? His last game.
He was okay. Average.
Godwin, Cooper.
I just wondered how much you put in for the defense you're playing with, middle of the tier guys.
It affects a little bit, but not a ton. I mean, look at how the Niners have been playing. Godwin's steady, but no touchdowns. He's just kind of like 70 yards. He had a 100-yard game.
He's questionable also.
Yeah.
Neck.
I'd say put Godwin down for now.
All right, that's what I thought.
All right, later. Now watch Godwin go absolutely bonkers. Rock out, dialing it. Here we go, rock out. Rock out, you got 30. I'll give you a tad bit longer than 30, but you got 30 seconds. Go.
Yeah, who you like between Mayer, Kincaid, and Ferguson?
Kincaid?
Yeah.
I mean, with Knox out with a wrist surgery, man, it's Kincaid time. And he's been getting targets all year. Even from the jump, they've been targeting him. It's not like he's been, absent. I think now they turn the reins over. They just say, here you go, bro. It's time to rock and roll. Kincaid season, baby. Kincaid season is in effect. All right, anything else, rock out?
And who would you ever keep as the backup, Love or Purdy? I know they're kind of off and on.
At the backyard.
I'd probably say Love right now.
Because I got some buys, so.
Blackbeard, appreciate you. Says 450 in here, only 166 thumbs up. Hit that thumb up button. Thank you, Blackbeard. I'd probably say give me Love. Bye week out of the way. I still believe in Love to a degree. The team's not wavering from him. I know he's been hit and miss, but Purdy also looked like Brock Turdy. Two.
And I got Burrow as my starter.
Yeah. So I'll go Love, bro. All right, rock out. Appreciate you, pal.
Appreciate it.
Later, pal. Rock out. Travis, you're up 30.
Hey, sweetie. So I have T-Law, Love, and Kyler right now. I'm thinking about trying to go after Burrow. Would you give up DK and Kyler for Burrow, or no? Is that too much?
I kind of feel like Kyler is going to be crafty, and then again, you never know coming back from an ACL tear how long it takes him to get going. But I think
would you rather keep T-Law over giving up Kyler? Or
yeah, I'd rather keep Kyler. So if you could give up T-Law and DK for Burrow, I like that a lot. If you could give up T-Law and Love and DK, give up all three, I'd rather you keep Kyler.
Okay. And then same idea, but like for Justin Herbert, would you go just like DK straight up for him, or?
I'd rather just have Kyler.
Do you think that's
I'd rather just bank on Kyler, but I mean,
okay?
I think because you have this option of a top 5 to 7 quarterback, like he's always scored like 20 points a game in fantasy. You know, I know he's coming back from the ACL tear, but you what?
And then the other one was Tua. Do you value like Tua above Burrow for now?
Yeah, I do for now. I think that could change, but Burrow's got the calf that's still like always going to linger for a little bit. But I'd say Tua. It would be worth. Tua's got such a good offense. I would definitely give up like T-Law, Love, and DK for Tua, and then you have Tua, Kyler. But DK is tough to give up. I mean, that's hard to throw in. You have to be able to support that.
Yeah, I have Diggs and Pickens and JSN are my best receivers right now. So
Diggs, Pickens, JSN, it's not bad. I mean, it's tough to give up DK, but I mean, in a way, bro, in a way, you almost could look at like, can you get rid of DK and Love or T-Law to a QB needy team and not even ask for a quarterback and try and get an extra player and just roll with Kyler and whichever quarterback they don't want, and then you give away the quarterback with DK and you upgrade DK.
I guess. And I'll jump right after this. I have Hawkinson, Laporta, and Kincaid. You think I'm okay going with Laporta and Kincaid and shopping Hawkinson around?
I think I'd trade the one that gets me the most return because they're all very good options. I'd maybe even trade two of them. I'd maybe even trade two of them in two of these deals to get the lineup beefed up.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Smitty.
Yeah, Travis, thanks for moderating. Travis Rowe, everybody, appreciate you. And let's get back to these supers real quick, and then your boy is probably going to jump. We might come back and do something tonight. Thomas with a $2 hauler, waiver priority, Kincaid or Brown. Cedric Bourne. Sorry, my brain's fried. Kincaid or Bourne. I'm going to go Kincaid this week. Even though you need wide receiver priority, Bourne, I'd rather have Kincaid. I feel like you can maybe trade Kincaid for a better wide receiver. You know, Kincaid popping off might get you Devontae Smith, or somebody that misses out on Kincaid might be like, damn it, I know you just picked him up, but I want him. Mel with the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
Mel putting Smitty to work. Mel, appreciate you. Need help with week 8 rest of season moves, 6-1. T-Law, Geno Smith, Monty, Aaron Jones, Ford, Warren, Spears, Wilson, Rojo, Olave, DK, Watson, JSN, Osborne, Kelsey, Laporta, Bills, Dolphins. Trying to move Laporta. Had some fortunate wins. I like this team a lot. I think I'm trying to upgrade at quarterback. I'm trying to maneuver, and even though I do like buying Aaron Jones on the low, I also like selling in situations like yours where you can go give up Monty or Aaron Jones for Achane and a doubted wide receiver like Devontae Smith, which is usually a package I recommend every like 2 or 4 minutes on the show. So I don't know if the Achane owner owns Devontae Smith, but you get my drift. Achane and a player. Hall and a player. I don't think Aaron Jones or Monty is going to get you Hall and a player anymore. So you might need to do a 2 for 2. But Bijan, I think Aaron Jones or Monty with one of these bench guys or one of these wide receivers you have could maybe, like, and especially you have 2 tight ends. I guess I'm looking at taking one of the tight ends, probably Laporta, because you want to probably keep Kelsey unless you get some massive return like Hurts and Achane for Kelsey. You know, like Hurts, Achane, and a Ridley, free Ridley for Kelsey, like something crazy like that. Laporta and one of your quarterbacks to get Tua and something. Laporta and one of your quarterbacks to get Burrow, or Laporta for Kyler, potentially in something. You get Kyler and something. Aaron Jones and Laporta to upgrade into Pollard, into Taylor, into Bijan. Those are all moves that I'm using. And, of course, Olave, DK, you're good at wide receiver there. JSN for now. You're waiting at running back. I mean, you've got Aaron Jones in there, and you're waiting on your two other RBs. I guess you're going Wilson until further notice, but it's a really, really decent squad. You got a lot of maneuverability, but you have to move one of the tight ends. Hope you're feeling better, Kincaid or Ferguson. I go Kincaid. Ricardo, appreciate you. Yeah, I'm like somewhat under the weather still, but not too bad. Not as bad as Bijan. You know. Smitty, 6-1 in Marsman. Not feeling confident about my team. Any moves? Love, Burrow, Pollard, Kamara, Edwards, Jacobs, Olave, Addison. It's a good team. I mean, if I'm trying to move something, and it's going to be hard in the Marsman League because we all think the same, I'm trying to get rid of, I suppose, Jacobs, but no one's going to buy him in our league probably because I talk him down so much. But, I mean, there's going to be someone that likes him despite what I say. And so, you're trying to move that unless you love him. Unless you love him, we got double flex spots, right? So, I mean, you're going to use him. It's not like he's a waste. Addison's balling out. Olave's fine. Higgins is fine. Kirk's playing great. I wouldn't feel bad about this team at all. I don't know what moves you can really make, though, in our league, to be honest. I would say, like, if you wanted to take a chance on a Bijan or a Breece Hall or someone of that nature, like I've got Achane. I don't think I would trade Achane for a whole lot, but I would contemplate moves because I need wins. Like, I'd be interested in Pollard and Kamara doing some sort of Achane deal, like a 2-for-2 deal. But I would go to the teams that are struggling. I've got one of the best teams I feel like I've assembled this year, and I've got 2 wins. It's crazy. My team is insane. I had AR5. He went down. I've got Purdy, I think, at quarterback. Brock Purdy. I forget who my other quarterback is. But I got Purdy. I've got Ekeler. I've got Achane on IR. I've got Kelsey. I've got Ridley, Debo, Tyreek Hill. I've got a team. I got Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Ekeler, and Achane. And 2 wins. I've got one of the best teams I've assembled all year long. Out of any one of my leagues, I've got 2 wins. So I'm probably thinking crazy about what I can do. But, I mean, Kamara and Pollard are sell-high candidates. I think for you, in our league, with the mindsets everybody has, you've got to sell high on one of them or no one's going to do a trade. So it depends what your return's going to be. Can you sell a Kamara for a Taylor and wide receiver? That's probably what I would look to do. Bijan and a wide receiver, you got to sell. You got to try and sell for Bijan and a wide receiver, Taylor for a wide receiver, giving up Kamara or just one of your 2 RBs. Walker Evans, thank you for the $20 hauler, my boy Russian.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Russian collusion to the moon. Appreciate you. Give Russian a standing ovation. Everybody clap for the boy Russian. Appreciate the man in here dropping fire tonight. Walker, Evans, Kirk for Bijan and Diggs. Walker, Evans, Kirk for Bijan and Diggs. I'd rather have Bijan and Diggs, but very arguable given the struggles of Bijan, of course. Javonte or Stevenson plus Evans. I'd rather have Stevenson plus Evans. Oh, sorry. For my DJ Moore in Dynasty. I guess I'd rather have Stevenson and Evans and bank on Stevenson still having value. And Evans is still pretty damn good. And DJ Moore is kind of questionable long-term, to be honest. Trade Walker for Ekeler. Ridley for Higgins. I'd rather have Ridley over Higgins, believe it or not. I know a lot of people might disagree with me. Trade Walker for Ekeler. That's darn even Steven stuff right there. I would lean preference there. I don't even want to force you in a direction because I'm literally on the fence. I'd probably lean Walker. He's got a little bit of a tougher schedule, although it's lessening as we watch these defenses unfold a little. But I would say, Walker's safer. I just say because he's doing well and Ekeler hasn't bounced back yet and he's older. You don't know what's in store. I like buying Ekeler, but in your situation, maybe I'd rather have Walker. CMC, Dak, a good chunk of fab for Chase and K9. DK and CMC for Chase and K9. I'd rather have Chase and K9. That's a lot of value. That's a lot of value. Chasing K9's a lot of value. I know CMC's hard to give up, but he's also banged up right now, and they're playing him, and Who the hell knows how it's going to unfold? Should I trade Ramondre for Javonte and Chuba? I'd rather have the odds of Ramondre bouncing back. Bijan and Kirk for Jamar Chase. I'd rather have Jamar Chase. Or Jamar for Barkley and Brown. I'd rather have Jamar Chase. Watson, Bruzy Poo is a strain. I'm done with him dropping his rear end and going with Dak until Fields comes back. I don't know that I drop Watson, but he's certainly a bum right now. And I think everything I've said about Watson's been true. Everybody yelling at me all offseason long. Well, you'll see Watson's going to be good, Smitty. You're going to pay. Smitty, you talking so much trash about Watson, he's going to show you. But hey, look. Fields, Love, T-Law, they're struggling too, so I don't have a whole lot to trash talk that I can throw out in terms of this specific bucket of quarterback because everyone's struggling. Aaron Jones and Olave for Kamara. I'd rather have Aaron Jones and Olave, to be honest with you. It depends on your situation, but in general, in a vacuum, give me the two players. I appreciate everybody being here. We got 418 people still in here. Punch the thumb up button on the way out the door. Hopefully, I'll be live again tonight to do some drafting with you all for Week 8, Underdog Fantasy. If you want to draft with me tonight, hit the link right now, Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $500. The link is pinned in the live chat. The link is in the description of every single video. I pinned the link right now. It's pinned in the live chat. They'll double your first deposit up to $500, and the code Smitty does it too. If you download the app, just use code Smitty when it asks you how you heard about Underdog. It'll give you double your first deposit up to $500. And so we'll be drafting tonight. If you want to draft with me, hit that link. Make sure you are signed up using the link that inserts code Smitty for you. It's in the description of every video if you're watching a replay. And get signed up so you're not missing out on getting in a draft tonight. If we do go, and I think we probably will. So I'll see you all tonight. And the last super chat from Paul. Hey, Smitty, I have the number one waiver claim. Kittle is on a bye this week. Number one claim, is it worth picking up Kincaid? Definitely Kincaid. It's Kincaid season, baby. Paul, I can't guarantee it, but I'm doing it live. Paul, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the super chatters today. My $20 haulers. You guys are fantastic. Unbelievable. It looks like our $20 haulers in this show included Russian Collusion. Thank you, Russian. Mel Bailey, appreciate you, Mel. Monica, the $10 hauler. Appreciate the Rocky, the $10 hauler. All you phenomenal people out there. Let's see here. We got Russian Collusion with the $10 hauler. We've got another $10 from AJ Johnson. We got a 20 from Anthony. We've got a $10 hauler from Jay. Jay's the man. Appreciate you, Jay. And we've got, let's see here, a $10 hauler from that boy, a $10 hauler from Cooper. Cooper, appreciate you. George P. with a $20 hauler. Appreciate that 20 spot there, pal. And then we've got $10 from Just Jay. Jay, thank you for that. And we've got a 20 from Mel Bailey. Again, Mel, appreciate you dropping the fire tonight. Kirkwood with a $20 hauler. $10 hauler from Asan. Asan, appreciate you. Mike, appreciate the $10 hauler. Moore, appreciate you. Arjan Moore, I appreciate your super chat as well. Rick Moore, $20 hauler. Josh Q, a $20 hauler. Appreciate you, Josh. Neighbors with a 20 wad, and RS with a 20 spot. Appreciate you. And if I forgot anybody or skipped anybody, Michael Russo with a $10 hauler, please let me know and I'll shout you out. Brofist Brad with a $20 hauler. And I think that's all the $10 and $20 haulers. I want to make sure I gave you guys your props and your shout out and your amazingness. Appreciate you all. I'll see you probably, not for sure, but probably tonight. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Hit that link in the live chat. Hit that link in the description. I will see you all potentially tonight. Thank you all. Thomas says Smitty is Kincaid flexible. Absolutely. I've seen him touch his toes. He's a good play, bro. He's not a guarantee. Depends on the options. Jungle Rumbler says, Smitty, I'm sorry if I've ever upset you. It's okay, bro. See you all tonight. Most likely.